Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are San Diego.
Giant nemesis Matt Kemp and the Padres open the final homestand of the season against San Francisco and Angel Pagan, part of the National League's best hitting team. It's game 1 of 3. So on the mound tonight for the Padres, Tyson Ross, who has pitched much better than his 10-10 record, especially in his last 4 starts. A 1.73 ERA. Tough to hit. 172 batting average against. As we welcome you to beautiful Petco Park final homestand. Mark Grant, Dick Enberg, we're pleased you've joined us. And we're going to follow Tyson Ross tonight. He needs 6 more strikeouts to hit that magical 200 mark.
And it should not be a problem if Tyson Ross is not in his game. He's been consistent all year long with that two-seam fastball and that wipeout slider. Hopefully we see that tonight.
Well, he'll count on the bat of Matt Kemp, who has been red hot since the All-Star break. He's just 2 runs batted in from 100.
And the way Matt Kemp is seeing the ball and hitting the baseball the opposite way proves that Matt Kemp is totally locked in. Boy, what would Matt Kemp have hit if he was starting to hit like this April 8th? Well, at home, who says that Petco Park is small, that you can't hit home runs? In 32 games, 11 round trippers, he's driven in 33, so that's the key against these Giants in game 1, to take game 1, get on for Matt Kemp and use right center field and driving those runs to get to these Giants and Chris Heston tonight in game 1.
Well, with Kemp and Upton hitting the long ball, one wonders about Petco Park. Is this a powerhouse or a house of power? Well, Chris Budd will have that story when we return to San Diego's Petco Park.
Welcome back. Justin Upton, Matt Kemp getting ready for game 1 against the Giants today. And as Dick Enberg said, this was always known as a pitcher's park, but has it become a power park recently. When you look at the numbers right now, it's the highest slugging percentage in Petco Park history, and they're just 6 off tying the park record for home runs. So I talked to Dave Roberts about his reaction on how maybe things are changing in the air.
Still a pitcher's ballpark, but I think that, in talking to Darren Balsley all the time, and I think he kind of equates it to, pitchers just making mistakes. And, as an offensive player, former offensive player, I think that, the ball's carrying a little bit more. I don't know if it's a lighter air or what, but, Darren wants no part of that. But the numbers are the numbers that, we're giving up more homers at home, and we're hitting a lot of homers at home.
And Justin Upton won off tying the single-season record as well. We'll see if he does that tonight against Chris Heston and the Giants as they return home. Final homestand of the series of the season for the Padres. Giants. First pitch coming up from Petco Park this evening when we return.
Brought to you by Land Rover, above and beyond. By Petco, what we feed them matters. And by Jack in the Box. Taste the new spicy nacho chicken sandwich munchie meal tonight. Beautiful sunset here in our great city as we welcome you to the first game of the 3-game series. The Padres have taken the field. Let's check the starting lineup for the Giants, brought to you by Hyundai on a 75-degree night. Padres want to pay back after the Giants tore them apart in a series a couple of weekends ago up at AT&T. Here is that lineup, brought to you by Hyundai. Pagan, Diaza, then Matt Duffy. Brandon Crawford hits cleanup. Buster Posey, as you can see, and Brandon Belt out of the lineup tonight with injuries. Marlon Byrd hits fifth, and young Kelby Tomlinson, the second baseman, Aher. Adrianza fills the void at first base, left by Belt's injury. He has a concussion. Trevor Brown, rookie from UCLA, is behind the plate. And then Chris Heston.
And the scouting report for Mr. Consistency, Tyson Ross, is brought to you by Montalvo. Now let's see if Tyson Ross can get to these Giants in game one and set the tone. He's got swing and miss stuff. We know that, the two-seamer and the slider, and Mr. Grounder. The ground ball rate for Tyson Ross, one of the tops, third highest in Major League Baseball.
Well, and he's the toughest to homer against, even though he gave up 3 against Colorado in one game. Still only 8 on the season, and no one has done a better job of keeping the ball in the yard. Pagan walks to the plate. He's hit well of late and has done some damage against Ross. 7 for 16 this year against Tyson, a .438 average. Pagan, Diaza, and Duffy for the Giants, with DJ Rayburn putting on the mask, calling the balls and strikes tonight, with a newcomer, Stu Schurwater, Joe West, the crew chief at second base, and Kerwin Danley working over third. Ross gets us started tonight on this Tuesday evening. Bruce Bochy in his 9th year, World Series champs, 2010, 2012, 2014. Something going for the Giants in these seasons. Backs him off 1-1 at 95.
Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of Giant fans out there saying, nah, 2015, as you mentioned, Dick, not an even year. Just wait till next year, huh?
We've had an amazing success of late, and a lot of Giant orange here in the ballpark tonight to stay with the Giants to the very end. They're not eliminated as yet. The Padres have been from playoff contention. 2-1. That's in there.
Well, hopefully next year it's the Padres in contention and wiping out these Giants and throwing that myth out the window. 2016, San Diego's year.
Pat Murphy's team lost 9-1, 8-0, and 10-3 2 weekends ago in San Francisco. So there's dues to be paid. 2-2 to Pagan, and he swings weakly and misses. There's that wicked slider, and now Ross only 5 strikeouts away from 200.
Great location as well on that slider, and when you have a hitter swing like that, the bad hack, that means it was a nasty one. Perfectly located from Tyson.
Alejandro Diaza, acquired before the trade deadline from Boston. Had only 41 at bats as a Giant with 10 hits. And let's check Tyson Ross as we follow his strikeout pace. Oh, look at that. Last year at this time, 195 strikeouts, no, it is this evening. He went on last year to complete the 200 strikeouts. Shields is already there, and if Ross can get 200, and it certainly seems he will be able to hit that mark, that's the first time in San Diego history that 2 pitchers in the same season struck out 200. So it's no mean feat. Nor is that man's talent. Madison Bumgarner, we're going to see him on Thursday night.
And Tim Hudson on the right. He's had one heck of a career. We saw him in San Francisco.
2-1. 94 and a near miss. 3 balls and a strike.
We talked about the 195 strikeouts now for Tyson Ross, and fewer innings pitched this year. Last year we showed you 195.2, 185 plus this year. That's telling you something.
Chop foul. So Ross ranks 6th in the National League in strikeouts, and he leads of National League pitchers in walks, although he's been much more efficient of late. So to show you how tough it is to strike out 200, there's the list. Brown, PV 3 times. We're going to see Jake tomorrow night. Clay Kirby. Shields has done it this year. Ian Kennedy last year. Swing and a miss, and he's working on that strikeout mark in a hurry, isn't he? Pagan and Diaza go down swinging. Here's the Padres defense, brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. Upton and left. Jankowski Patrol Center with Kemp over there in right field. On the infield from third around the horn, Solarte, Jerko at short, Spangenberg at second, and Myers at first base. Austin Hedges again catching Tyson Ross, his 16th time behind the plate with Ross on the mound, and that fastball's in there at the knees.
You talk about Tyson Ross, short strider, working up top, high 3/4 arm release. You talk about a downward plane, fastball and slider alike.
Fouled away by Duffy, who has had a very significant rookie season. In fact, he is #1 in the National League with a .301 batting average of all rookies. Has more hits than any rookie, and he's second in RBIs with a 71. Pitch away from striking out the side, and he misses away.
I want to know how you lay off that pitch so close with 2 strikes.
skips that one in at 96, 2-2. Tyson Ross grew up on the east side of the Bay, away from San Francisco in Oakland. Stayed on that side to go to Cal Berkeley. Strike three. He struck out the side. That's going to work in a hurry. Strikeouts number 195, 196, and 197. Pagan, Diaza, and Duffy go down swinging, and Duffy caught looking. For the ball game, here come the Padres, and the lineup for Patrick Murphy brought to you by Toyota, with Will Myers leading off, then Solarte and Kemp. Justin Upton looking for that 16th home run at Petco, which would be a record. Jed Jerko been hot with a home run bat of late. Then Spangenberg Hedges hits 7th, Tyson Ross in the 8th spot, and Travis Jankowski bats 9th. Against Chris Heston, the 27-year-old rookie, threw a no-hitter.
And the scouting report for Chris Heston is brought to you by UCSD Health. Very sinker heavy from this kid. He likes to throw that. He'll also cut it. He's been missing in the zone lately. Up in the zone. Hence the numbers. Bad numbers last few times out.
Yeah, they are not good. In fact, the last 8 starts, he's 0-5 with an ERA over 5. Like Ross, a ground ball pitcher, we can pretty much follow his progress during the course of the game by how many ground ball outs he throws. 1-2 to Myers. At .272, the Padres' top batting average.
Sometimes Heston will work around that breaking ball, and it's almost like a sweeping curveball, but pretty much a cutter/slider. He's only going to top out about 90, 91, not overpowering. He relies on a lot of movement.
Check swing foul. Heston from Bayside, Florida high school there, and East Carolina University. They're the Pirates, aren't they?
I think you're right. That sounds, yeah, I think so.
We'll certainly
That's
get
good, Professor.
Well, I don't know. I may not be right. That came out too quickly. You know, I like to.
I think you're right.
Ruminate is good. A good thing sometimes. Swing and a miss. It's a strikeout party. Myers goes down swinging. 4 batters come to the plate. All 4 face strike 3. Giants defense is brought to you by the California Lottery. That's Angel Pagan blowing bubbles in center field with Diaz and Bird in left and right field. Matt Duffy joined by Brandon Crawford back from injuries. Tomlinson and Adrianza at the corners, and a ground ball into right field. A base hit for Solarte, the Padres third baseman, the first base runner tonight.
Dick, you mentioned it earlier. A lot of ground balls out of the hand of Chris Heston, but this one finds the hole past the diving Tomlinson, and there goes the no-hitter.
Of course, Heston did throw a no-hitter back in June 9th against the Mets. First San Francisco Giant rookie to throw a no-hitter, and the first in the Giants' history in 103 years that a rookie threw a no-no. Matt Kemp, another good road trip, 23 home runs now and 2 away from 100 runs batted in. Ball 1.
Interesting first pitch breaking ball. Chris Heston knows the way that Matt Kemp has been swinging the bat. He's not going to give him a first pitch fastball right down the middle. And that's another key. Matt Kemp not swinging at balls out of the zone. I know it sounds so simple, but my goodness, this second half of the season, he's just spitting on those sliders away, waiting for the pitcher to come to him and crushing mistakes.
And hitting that outside pitch the other way for long distance. That's in there. 88 miles an hour. It's the 4th start against the Padres for Heston. He's won 2 out of the first 3 starts. That's on the corner at the knees. And just as Matt Duffy is #1 among National League rookies in batting average, Heston is #1 in the National League, the rookies of most wins with 11.
The way you have to get to Heston early is because of that last couple of pitches he just threw. That 2-seam sinker, if he can hone in on that.
Ooh, that was going to be close, but Adrianza not accustomed to using that big glove. The late scratch was Buster Posey. He was going to be in the lineup at first base, and Adrianza, an hour and a half ago, inserted in Posey's place. Outside, that's the point that you made earlier, that big sweeping breaking ball going away and then laying off. Came up in late 2014, did Heston, for his first major league experience. That ball driven to left field. Back goes Diaza and makes the catch. Hit it right on the button, but couldn't get it up high enough to clear the left fielder and the wall and left. A look now at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, Dick, as you mentioned, the numbers for Heston, the last 8 starts, 0-5 with a 5 ERA. Get to him early, get him in the stretch, and support Ross at home. You know, Tyson Ross, his road numbers, when you look at the ERA, 2.83 on the road, 6-3 on the road. Home record's 4-7. How about chalking up a win at home here tonight?
Absolutely. Get him above the 500 mark.
Get him some runs early.
Upton sitting on 26 home runs to lead the club, and 19 RBIs, also the club leader. He'd become only the 3rd Padre in history to lead the team in home runs and stolen bases. It looks as if he's going to hold the lead in both categories. You're wondering about the other 2? Well, here they are. Reggie Sanders and Dave Winfield led the team in home runs and stolen bases. It's an interesting quinella, isn't it? To have power and the speed to steal a base.
Yeah, usually they're separate, don't you think?
Trying to become only the 3rd. Whoa, way outside, and Upton goes fishing for that one. Two outs. Solarte with a single, still there at first.
Good layoff there. Hey, if you're going to throw that pitch way out of the zone, he's going to swing at it. Go back there. A great adjustment by Justin.
So the Giants fading hopes to make the playoffs. Very slim now. They're not going to do it as a wild card. They're 9.5 games behind Pittsburgh and Chicago for the wild card. Center field hit pretty well. Pagan drifting back. A couple of well hit balls by Kemp and Upton for outs. And nothing for San Diego in the first. On we go to the second, no score. Other corner does Tyson Ross. Ooh, was that a setup or what?
Uno dos. Adios.
That's one of my favorite calls of yours, Mark Grant. The Uno dos Adios.
Oh, thank you, sir.
It's got that local flavor.
Yeah. I like the result of that.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like striking out the side?
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go in the second after striking out Pagan, Diaza, and Duffy in the first. Brandon Crawford, when Posey was lifted from the starting lineup. Crawford elevated to the number 4 slot. He's had a terrific year. Great with a glove, and he's had some injuries, but 19 homers. Former UCLA Bruin. But against Ross, he's not had a lot of success. 2 for 18. There's Posey, who has hit Ross and every other pitcher well. Number 3 batting average in the National League. They figure it's nothing serious. He'll be back in the lineup tomorrow. Big wave and a miss. 2-1.
Yeah, let's face it, Giants without Buster Posey is a totally different lineup. There's no way of getting around that. And it happens. These guys are beat up this time of the year. When you're in a race or not, everybody's nicked up.
Well, they've had more than their share of bad injury luck this year. Hard to feel sorry for, an NL West opponent, but if you're going to have any sympathy for a team, it's the Giants. I mean, you lose Hunter Pence, you lose Brandon Crawford for a significant amount of time. Joe Panik still hasn't come back. They get Aoki, who's playing well. He has a concussion. He hasn't been in the lineup for a long time. 2-2, and he got just a little of that one.
And also with Brandon Crawford, as you take a look at Hunter Pence, Crawford's just 1 for 11 in his last 3 games since returning to the Giants lineup. Remember, he had that calf issue and the oblique ailments. So he's still trying to get it going late after the injury.
We'll keep an eye on the Dodgers score tonight. They play Arizona. Giants certainly interested in that. Check swing. Did he go? No. Kerwin Danley waves it off. This would have been a sarcastic double, potential triple. No, he pulled up.
You think?
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
Yeah, okay, I'll give him that one.
Full count.
He's going to strike him out anyway. Throw another slider.
And he fouled it back. Had a good read on that one.
Yeah, sometimes when the slider's too high, it's good. When it's low and a hitter is protecting, yes, you can go for the swing. But when you leave it in that gray area around the belt buckle, you hang it, that's when it spells trouble. You can see Honda, Fox Tracks, that one was up just enough to where he couldn't get on top of it.
So here comes the payoff pitch again. Strike 3 called, and Crawford takes the long walk. 4 in a row for Tyson Ross. He starts tonight with 194, now only 2 away from that 200 mark. He gets Pagan, Diaza, and Duffy in the first inning, and a 3-2 pitch called strike 3 against Brandon Crawford. Nicely caught and received, I should say, not caught. He receives the ball in the strike zone. Marlon Byrd. He was a real pest up in San Francisco that 3-game series. He swings and misses against Ross this year. 1 for 10. Those are his overall numbers this year, including those with Cincinnati before the trade at the deadline in late July. After the Padres left town, then Bird suddenly wasn't hitting. He's 3 for the last 23. Well, they had trouble getting him out.
They sure did. Remember that game, Dick? And then later in the series, it seems like they made an adjustment away with breaking stuff, and then he had some bad hacks.
But fastball.
Yeah.
Shift is on. 3 on the left side. Only Myers guarding the right side. Bird showed he can go the opposite way. 1-2.
Tyson's found that release point early on, folks, right out of the gate, because the 4 pitches he's thrown to Marlon Byrd have all been down in the zone. The slider and the sinker.
But one negative about the 4 strikeouts, pitch count, 28 already. No strikeout here, but an easy play for Jerko. And there's 2 away here in the Giants' second. That'll bring up Kelby Tomlinson. Rookie called up from the Sacramento farm team, the AAA team of the Giants, to replace Joe Panik when Panik out of the lineup with injury. And Tomlinson is filled in rather nicely, 287 average. Clark Kent.
Hopefully he's not wearing the cape tonight.
No, don't let him in the phone booth.
No. I talked to some Giant people regarding Tomlinson, and sure, he's playing second base, but this kid's pretty athletic. There's a chance you might see him in center field next year.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah. We might even see him in center field in this series.
Yeah.
Bruce Bochy, his 9th year with the Giants. One of Poway's best.
And like any manager, Dick, when you're kind of, they're not eliminated yet, but still, he's managing like it's every game counts.
Yeah, got to.
You have that intensity. Hey, it's not going to happen any other way, right?
They need the Dodgers to go into a total tailspin, but it's happened in history. Dodgers are in the second inning at home against Arizona, no score. Yes, a strike on the outside corner at the knees. 2-2. Here
comes the slider.
Swing and a miss. 5 strikeouts in 2 innings for Ross. He's on the doorstep. 1 more to reach 200. And we go to the bottom of the second inning here at Petco. No score.
Before the game today, Padres pitcher Andrew Cashner was presented the Roberto Clemente Award. As the Padres nominee, the award goes to one player from each team who best represents the game with the contributions that they do off the field, and he was presented it by Roberto Clemente Jr., who we'll be talking to a little later on today. So congratulations to Andrew Cashner and all he's done with his new Cashner Family Foundation, raising money for families and kids who have to spend a lot of time in hospitals, and he wants them to go out and have fun and realize there's a lot more to life.
Yeah, that's great. And congratulations from all of us to Cashner, who, along with his many charities, he's the first out of that dugout to applaud when they announce in the second inning here, let's have all veterans and members of the military stand so they can be acknowledged. Cashner leads the way in that regard.
Yeah, so congratulations, Andrew. We're very proud of you wearing that Padre uniform and doing a lot of good stuff off the field as well.
Big swing and a miss by Jerko, 1-2. Jerko, Spangenberg, and Hedges against Chris Heston here in the bottom of the second. The Padres need, with 12 games to go, to win 7 of those 12 to match last year's record, and they really have been a team of consistency the last 4 years. I mean, amazingly so. Chief Executive Ron Fowler, Tom Seidler in the owner's booth. In 2012, 76-86. 2013, 76-86. 2014, 77-85. And they're going to be right there on that mark again this year. We need to turn those numbers around, though. Get that 85 on the win side of the column. Swing and a miss, and that's the second strikeout for Heston. Corey Spangenberg, the batter.
We talk about Chris Heston and the two-seamer. He just struck out Jed Jerko on a two-seamer, but in that at-bat, he threw a curveball. He has thrown the slider tonight, and the changeup comes in fourth place. So he relies basically on the two-seam fastball and the slider.
Like a changeup there. Reputation of being a night owl, this man, in terms of taking his pitching assignments. He's 8th best in the National League in ERA in night games, a 2.94. Again, horses for courses.
Yeah.
Huh?
Some guys just like pitching better. They get a better feel for the baseball at night. Hitters generally like to hit during the day because they say they see the ball better. And plus with the movement as well, Dick. I mean, you know, Heston, if he's got that good movement going, he's going to get a lot of grounders. Things are going to go his way. That's why you got to get that sinker up in the zone.
Spangenberg works the count. That's the first 3-ball count for Heston. Calls him back. A late strike call from Rayburn. 3-2. Home run up in Colorado, huh?
Yeah,
for
so glad to see that.
Slaps that one foul.
Yeah, he hit a mistake. He pulled it to right center field. It was good to see.
Yeah, look at that fan. She's got a. We'll excuse her for the fact she's got the Posey jersey on, but she made a good play.
See, that's why you bring your glove to the yard.
That's good. Strike 3 called. He spins a slow 72-mile-an-hour curveball in there. 3 strikeouts for Heston.
You know, after seeing the hard stuff and the little breaker, he breaks out the curveball again. And this is not a bad pitch. Let's check it out. Boy, that pitch catches the outside corner.
Yep, and went over the plate. It was at the knees. And Fox Tracks, brought to you by Honda, shows that indeed was a strikeout.
Good pitch.
Austin Hedges, the catcher, batting.
I can see why a hitter gives up on that, because that big break, you think it's going to be out of the zone, and bang, right on the outside corner.
Fastball in there, 89. That's about tops for him. He might hit 90 occasionally.
Yep.
Well, Hedges, no question about his defensive skills. He's going to work on his hitting technique and winter ball. Dominican. Fly ball shallow. Well, actually, so shallow it's in the infield. Shortstop Crawford makes the catch. No score on the way to the third. the scene for its first ever college basketball game. The date, Saturday, December 5, part of the Bill Walton Basketball Festival. It'll be a week-long festival. And San Diego State and the University of San Diego will compete on an outdoor court to be built on the Petco infield. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. Padres.com/bball. And the layout here at Petco, it'll run the court, the length of the court will run from the third base bag to home plate.
Nice.
And then they'll build temporary stands around first base and the shortstop side. It'll be a nice little cozy arena.
So we've had tennis here, we've had concerts here, now hoops.
And there's room for football. That might be coming someday too. And Monsieur Walton himself will join us here in our broadcast booth. Fouled out a play by Aure Adrianza, who was 2 for 4 against Ross. You want to see what it looks like? Here's
Absolutely.
a schematic. How's that, huh?
Oh, very cool.
So the seats along the third base side, behind the third base dugout, will be sideline seats. And what you really want are the seats, temporary seats there on the second base side. Did not go. And the count goes to 1-2 on Adrianza with Trevor Brown, the catcher, and then Heston, the pitcher. 1 strike. Oh, he went that time.
I thought he did too.
5 strikeouts, 199 on the year for Tyson.
Oh, where's the pitch? Might have been a little inside. I thought it was a good slider.
Come on, make a call, will you?
Hey, the invader has arrived.
Is there any security around here or what?
2-2 and just inside. But their previous pitch looked like a strike. 1-0. You can't miss this guy, Bill Walton. He's only 6'11". Only 6'11". And you're going to admit tonight that was not your height when you were UCLA 3-time All-America.
Dick, the last time I was measured, I was 6'11".
Well, but you know.
But that was 19. I was 19 years old at the time. Yeah. And Coach Wooden, he looked at me and said, "You're 6'11".
Yeah, 6'11".
Go sit down.
Can you imagine when he was playing, opposing guys, they all cheat on their height. So if you're 6'10", you list you 6'11", thinking you're bigger than you are. And then Walton cheated from 7'2" down to 6'11". And this guy goes out saying, "We're the same height," and Walton's a head above him. That was rotten. Come on.
It's not how big you are, it's how big you play. And I was lucky enough to play with great players, phenomenal coaches, and have you call our games. I'm the luckiest guy in the history of the world.
How awesome was that?
How about the announcer? How lucky was he?
It was so fun. And we would always go in the locker room, Mark, after the game. We would be in the showers and we'd say, "I bet we got 9 oh my's out of Dick tonight." It was incredible. But Dick Enberg was the only person that John Wooden ever allowed to come down on the floor at Pauley and talk to him during practice. That's how important Dick was in our lives.
Was he the greatest, other than I've said, and you've heard me say it, Bill, and I think you feel the same way, the greatest man we've ever met other than our own fathers?
Absolutely incredible what he did for us. And the sad thing is, we didn't know it at the time. We were so young. We were 17, 18, 19-year-old teenagers. But the lessons in life that he gave us, and you've been carrying those on. And I've said many times that there's no one I've ever met in life more like John Wooden than our friend Dick Enberg.
Okay, now enough about that stuff. I mean, I really appreciate that. Thank you, Bill. But we want to talk about this basketball game here on the baseball field.
Fantastic. December 5th, Dick. December 5th of this year, Saturday, 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Basketball, college basketball.
Can you get some local teams in that game, maybe?
Yes, we're going to have 2 local colleges. San Diego State versus the USD Toreros. The Aztecs and Toreros. Tickets go on sale tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. There's going to be 18,000 fixed seats. Those are going to go right away. And then we're going to fill in all around. It's going to be absolutely incredible. It's going to be a week-long basketball festival of life.
Well, are they all going to play here, or are the other games going to be in arenas, indoor arenas?
There will be games here because the court is going to be erected early in the week. So that week starting November 30th, from that point on, there's just going to be constant, nonstop action around the sport, the business of basketball, all the lessons of life here. Steve Fisher, who has become the most important man in the history of basketball here in our great city of San Diego.
Hold your thought, though, Bill, because
there's
Tyson
a game
Ross
going on here or what?
One strike away from 200 for the year, which is a significant amount. He's got this rookie catcher, Trevor Brown, 2-2. Let's see if he can complete another strikeout. He has 5 so far. I know you'll remember your thought, and you could even call Tyson Ross's 200th strikeout.
Okay, at the mound, trying to hold the giant runner at first base. No score here. 1-hit ball game. Padres have that. Top of the 3rd inning. The delivery. Come on, make a call. What's up with that?
No, you're not supposed to be biased. You're supposed to
I'm
call
not.
it.
I'm sitting right over home plate here. Come on, go back to Foot Locker where you belong, will you?
3-2 the count.
What are they thinking out there?
Brown went to UCLA, the batter. He takes strike 3. I'm sorry to interrupt. That is number 200 as Adrianza steals second base, and a tip of the Padre cap to Tyson Ross. He and James Shields both hit 200 this year. Never been done before in Padre history.
Never been done.
Two in the same season.
Really? Both pitchers. Wow. That's a perfect strike there. Nice job by the catcher. You just fake that throw like that. Make the guy go face down in the dirt. Have the second baseman come over there and stand on his back with the spikes.
So Chris Heston, the pitcher, steps up. Not a bad hitter. He's got 10 hits this year and has knocked in 3.
We're at the end of the season, Dick. 10 hits?
Well, but they only get the bat every 5th game.
Oh, really?
Did you play baseball, Bill, or no?
I was a terrible baseball player, but I have a great
Your strike zone was too
Strike
big.
zone.
when they figured out that curveball at the head that dropped in, I was not good at that. But I remember, Dick, going down to Westgate Park in Mission Valley.
Seeing the old Padres.
Get in and seeing Chico Ruiz and Tony Perez, and there was a just fantastic atmosphere and experience. My mom, who came from Brooklyn in 1940, would go to Lane Field down on the waterfront here. And then when they built this just palace here, Petco Park, I mean, what a fantastic venue for everything. And we've seen so many things here. Tennis, ice, and the winter festival, and all the great baseball, and then the music that I love. Yep. Paul McCartney, the Rolling Stones, Taylor Swift. Oh my God, I missed the Taylor Swift show.
Did you go to the Stones?
I was here at the Stones, row 13.
Nice.
It was awesome.
You got to get your group, the Grateful Dead.
We're ready to go.
Are they the Dread or the Dead? Are they still alive?
They're the Grateful Dead, and they're doing fantastic. I just was at the 5 shows they had in Santa Clara and Chicago. Over the top perfect. It was so fun. Just like the fun we have here at Petco Park every single night. And the same fun we're going to have on December 5th, Saturday.
Strike 3, Heston, and Ross is on his way to 300. That's his 7th strikeout
there.
tonight.
7 strikeouts tonight?
7 out of the first 9 hitters.
I'm glad you're paying attention here. Because
it's my job.
Okay, Kevin Brown, I remember him. Yeah, Jake Peavy, I know him. Clay Kirby, yeah, Peavy, yeah.
Shields
Have you met
year?
Shields yet?
No.
He's right up your alley.
I work too much.
You really do.
I know.
Lori told me she hardly sees you anymore. Your wife, Lori.
You two would get along great.
I just got off the plane to come here today to do this whole thing. We had a fantastic press conference with Mike D. I was on the social hour with Randy Jones and some guy named Jordan. I don't know. And then... And then now I'm here with Dick and Mark. It is Mark, right?
This whole basketball, is this your baby? Is this your whole thing?
No, but it's a dream come true. Where everything comes together.
You went to Helix,
and you want to bring your... I was born just right over here where Interstate 5 is now. The hospital no longer exists. Our family moved to La Mesa right when I was born. And my mom, 88 years old, still in the same house.
Really? That's great.
And my mom, she always tells me, because I actually broadcast a little bit of on TV too.
I know you do.
And every game, my mom, she calls me up and she says, Billy, can't you be nice like Dick Enberg?
Yeah, you're more interesting. No, you add a little spice. You would like this Cholula that we keep selling here.
Cholula?
You should have Cholula on your back, you know?
Is that a drink or what?
Well, you could drink it, I guess. This is Pagan with a runner at second and 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. We're talking to Bill Walton. And wanted to remind you that's a whole week-long festival.
Festival of Life. Basketball Festival of Life.
And I know you're involved because it's not just basketball. There's got to be a charity involved in here someplace.
That's what makes it fun for me. I mean, the game is going to be terrific and awesome. Tickets tomorrow on sale at 10 a.m. But the whole idea of the cultural exchange and bringing the whole community together. And I love that sports is the ultimate front porch in life, where you sit there and everybody comes together. You put your differences aside and you just come. You play the game, you try your best to win, and then everybody just has a grand time. And what better place to do that than here at Petco Park? We're scoreless at the end of the third.
And how many strikeouts does he have, Ross? It's between 7 and 9.
He's got 8 tonight and 202 on the season.
I love you, man. Good luck. We're going to sell out this place for that basketball. Bill Walton, Basketball Festival. Don't miss it. Tickets on sale tomorrow.
I love Dick and
Oh, get out of here. San Diego.
Is he the best?
He's.
Oh, my goodness.
You know,
I couldn't imagine being a teammate of his. How much fun. I mean, all business on the court, obviously, but away from the game, oh, my goodness. Talk about keeping people loose.
Oh, he's a character. And, of course, John Wooden had to deal with that in times where there were Vietnam protests and Walton was lying in the middle of the street in Westwood and letting his hair grow long, which was a no-no for Coach Wooden, and testing him over and over again. And probably in the end, Wooden loved all of his players, but I think Bill Walton was right up at the top of the list.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, Dick, because you were around them all the time, but Coach Wooden seems the type. He never lost his cool and he knew how to mold that piece of clay, which was Bill Walton, into the right type of person that he turned into. Would that be correct?
Yeah, and he also said that every coach, and certainly I have, they have the one piece of power that they hold over their team, and it's called the bench.
Right.
And you can't be afraid to put your best player on the bench.
Yeah.
And once they know that, you've got pretty good discipline.
I remember you told me the story where Bill had to get his hair cut for practice. He showed up and he didn't have a haircut.
Tested him, said, "Oh, come on, Coach, what difference?"
Well, why don't you tell the story, because it's a great story.
So first of all, we've got 4 strikeouts for Heston, 1 away, and Travis Jankowski batting with no score here in the bottom of the third. And he figures it's the start of the season. He'll let his hair grow all during the offseason, so he's got the big mane, and comes in, and Coach Wooden says, "You can't practice today." And Bill says, "Why?" He says, "Well, the hair, that just isn't the code we want with UCLA in the front of that jersey." He said, "Come on, Coach, come on, ease up here. It's a different time." He said, "Well, you don't have to play, you know." But if you want to practice, I would suggest you get a haircut. Bill has his bicycle outside Pauley Pavilion, rides into Westwood, gets a quick haircut, rides back, and is there for the second half of the practice. No argument thereafter as Jankowski works a 1-out walk. First walk from Heston. And there was another test where Wicks and Rowe and came in with Walton at the start of the season. Wooden relented a little bit, let him grow facial hair.
Oh.
Before the first game.
Oh, okay.
Then the first game comes, and you know what they did? They all walked into Pauley Pavilion, hadn't shaved. And Wooden was so far ahead of him. Ducky Drake was the trainer. He put Ducky Drake back in the restroom part of the locker room with a razor. And he just said, well, looks as if we're going to be a little short-handed, but we'll get good seats for you fellas, and we'll be able to sit in the crowd and root for the UCLA pros. And those three guys raced back in there, and there was Ducky with a razor and gave them all a quick shave.
And Coach Wooden playing as cool as ever.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, you don't have to play, you know. I mean, it's okay. Oh, my.
Good times you had, Professor.
Yeah, it was, well, how lucky can you be?
Yeah.
9 years I did the games alone, no color man. Will Myers, there goes the runner Jankowski. The throw is not in time. Jankowski with his second stolen base.
You know, before the game tonight, I was talking with some Padre people, some Giant people about Travis Jankowski, and they asked me, what do you like about the kid? Well, I love his passion to play for the game. I love his build. He can pick him up and put him down, and the speed. Something you can bring to the ballpark each and every day.
Good thing they didn't keep the tag on him here as he came off the bag. So that's as good as a double, a walk and a steal for Jankowski. Padres trying to get on the board as Will Myers, the hitter, struck out the first time. See, a lot of people didn't know about Bill Walton was when he played at UCLA, he had such a severe stuttering problem that he couldn't be interviewed, and we didn't all know why. We just wouldn't be interviewed, and now he's overcome that, and as John Wooden says, now you can't shut him up.
Yeah, I love listening to him. You know, I'm not a huge basketball fan, but I love it when he does color on the games. I just love his insight and his stories, and he has fun with it.
Oh, he's a very interesting man. Myers, chance to pick up Jankowski. 1-1.
Look to see Will get a high sinker here. Ooh.
A little low, apparently.
I'll tell you what, that pitch changes the whole at bat. Rather than being 1-2, now 2-1, still in Will's favor.
Solarte has the only hit in the game thus far. A single his first time up in the first. And works the count to 3-1.
Looks like kind of a tight zone down tonight.
You see that emblem on the left shoulder of all the Giants, LON, Lon for Lon Simmons, their Hall of Fame broadcaster for so many decades, who passed away in this past year. 3-1. Way out in front of that slow breaking ball. Does a good job of changing speeds, doesn't he?
He sure does. Just when you're thinking of the two-seamer, you get the slider. Just when you might think of the slider, you get the curveball. He has broken out the curveball about 3 or 4 times tonight already.
And another strikeout. That was out of the strike zone, ball 4, but he got Myers to go after it. 5 strikeouts for Heston and 8 strikeouts for Tyson Ross.
Hey fans, the most popular way to follow the action of Padres baseball is with MLB.com at bat. It's the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, highlights, replays, scores, StatCast, live radio broadcasts, and much, much more. Get the MLB.com at bat app now. You got to have it if you're a fan.
And especially with the playoffs coming up onto the World Series, you want to be in tune with all the big games. Solarte grounded a single through the right side his first time. Playing pretty much straight up, don't they?
Straight away in the outfield there. Boy, big hole on that in between shortstop and third base.
Had a good season, Solarte. And he's been especially effective, as you can see. 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. 340. Best of the Padres, and that's the exact situation now. Jankowski with 2 outs there at second.
You know, and that tells you something about Solarte, because we know how quickly the word travels around the league. It's a guy being hot, and then they make an adjustment against him. He kind of goes in the tank a little bit. And then the hitter has to make an adjustment. And I think Jan has done a great job consistently all year putting up the consistent numbers. And with those numbers and runners in scoring position, hey, a feather in his cap.
A chance for his 60th run batted in. Well, tomorrow night, game 2 of the series, 6:30 our TV time here on Fox Sports San Diego. It'll be Andrew Kastner against Jake Peavy, the former Padres Cy Young Award winner. And then Ian Kennedy gets Madison Bumgarner in the Wednesday or Thursday night game. And there he is. He'll be after his 19th win of the year, trying to get 20. Ian Kennedy looks for his 9th victory on Thursday. Whoa, that breaking ball sharp, low and in. 1-2.
There's the curveball I was talking about. Got some good break to it. Out of the hand. Looks like that ball is going to be middle in, and then all of a sudden at your back foot. But get up on top of this one a little bit more, the curveball, and then you see the, almost like if you're looking at a clock, 1-7 on that break.
Ooh, almost to the screen. Brown does a good job of going up the ladder to glove it. It's 2-2.
Well, he wanted it high, but not that high. Because when Brown gave that sign, he gave the high target with the glove.
Arizona has scored and leads 1-0 early at Dodger Stadium. Jankowski, a walk and a steal. In the dirt. Did it hit him? Yes, it did. Maybe the top of the shoe. Another breaking ball that Solarte could not skip away from. So first and second. That's the 12th man that Heston has hit this year. Maybe off the toe. That's the second most hit batsman of any National League pitcher, 12. Matt Kemp has had some terrific seasons against the Giants, and he crushed one, but lined it to the left fielder his first time up.
Yeah, they're going to call somebody out from the dugout. Brown having a chat with Heston.
What's that all about? To pull, Joe West comes in to pull his pitcher away from his teammate. So it's Brown, the catcher, being examined by the training staff. See what happened here. Oh, does the bat hit him in the mask? He's looking at his shoulder and neck.
Watch his throat area as the ball comes up.
Yeah, it's the ball off the dirt or off the foot of Solarte. And then it ricochets right into his neck.
Yeah.
So the rookie Trevor Brown, who made his first major league start last Saturday, not about to be taken out.
That's good news. Glad to see that. I mean, that can get dicey, getting hit up in that area.
Steve Yeager that first came up with that little extension off the mask down to cover the Adam's apple, the larynx, and it's a wonder that somebody didn't come up with that idea sooner.
Yeah.
He himself did that. Now it's common equipment, but that doesn't catch all of them. You can see there's a lot of room when he lifts his mask for that ball to come up underneath. Buster Posey given the night off, and Brown getting the start. So here's Kemp with 2 on, 2 out in the third. Ooh. Big game in Toronto tonight between the Yankees and Blue Jays, battling for first place in the American League East, and the Yankees won that game 6-4 in extra innings. That's in at the knees. 1-1. So Toronto's lead carved to 2.5 over the Yankees in the East. Way outside.
You know, Dick, you were mentioning Steve Yeager. That happened in San Diego here. He was on deck, and Billy Russell broke his bat, and a piece of his bat came and severed his throat. Got a piece of his esophagus, pierced his esophagus when he was on deck. And then that's when he came up with that extension as he got better through time, that little piece of plastic that hung down from his mask to protect his throat.
Off speed, 2-2. And now all catchers use it just for the foul tips. Yeah. Using the old style wire mask. A lot of the catchers going to the hockey style mask. So 2-2, 2 outs, 2 on here in the third. And he misses away. That'll give the runners a jump start.
You almost have to bank on a located fastball here from Heston. And what is that pitch? It's the two-seamer down and away. Matt hit the ball hard the first time up, lined out to left field. This is where you like to see an extra base hit with 2 outs, and as you mentioned, Dick, count full, everybody's off and running.
Jankowski from second, Solarte at first. And they'll go at it again, 3-2. 69 miles an hour in that pitch. Good patience by Kemp. Padres, when they score first, are 49-24. Another foul back and another off speed.
There's the slider.
On this hot, humid night, James Shields.
Of course, Will Myers needs somebody to talk to, and he's been in the ear of James Shields.
Don't green fly me tonight. There they go, 3-2. Chasing, strike 3. 6 strikeouts for Heston. 2 are left, and we advance to the 4th. No score.
Roberto Clemente Jr., who in the pregame ceremony awarded Andrew Kashner the award named after your father. But you're also here to do some other charity work while you're in San Diego. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing here for the San Diego community.
Well, absolutely. Being able to help out with the feeding America, that was an outstanding thing for me. Being able to hear and learn about what this organization does. I was very touched, and I promised that I will come back and be able to really help as much as I can, because being able to feed, these kids and these families, it's very important. And when I deal with kids, understanding the education piece, you need to have great nutrition to be able to go and learn in school. So it's a very big deal.
You have for a long time tried to continue your father's legacy in doing charitable work. At what point in your life did you decide that that was something that you wanted to carry on?
It was a natural thing. I mean, from dad to mom, that's all we know is to be able to give. And seeing my mother, it was a great example to continue, and that's what we do as a family. That is our nature, and that we'd love to do it.
Well, on behalf of all of us, we appreciate everything that you and the rest of the Clemente family do. Enjoy your time in San Diego.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
Dick and Mark, back to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Chris. He's the real deal. Junior has well represented his terrific father, not only because Clemente was one of the great baseball players of all time, but he was on a mission of mercy when he was in a plane carrying food to a ravaged country in South America when his plane went down, and it cost him his life. Matt Duffy struck out the first time. Diaz opens the fourth. That was a well-hit ball to right. It didn't quite get it all. No walks, 8 strikeouts. Coming into the fourth inning, 14 strikeouts through 3 innings combined, these two pitchers. And a man who never struck out, Mark Sweeney, joins us.
Yeah, sure I didn't. I did plenty of times walking back to the dugout. But hello, guys. Welcome back, Dick.
No, thank you. Yeah, it's good to be back, and it's hard to believe all this season you can see the finish line.
Yeah, last homestand, and hopefully the guys can finish off strong. I think that's the most important thing.
You made a great point in the pregame show about a team in this situation. Come in the ball yard each and every day. Sure, when you're in the pennant race, you have something to strive for. But I'll tell you what, you need to come to the ballpark even when you're 15, 20 games out and give it your best shot and leave it all on the field. You can't just clock in and clock out.
How about number 9 for Tyson Ross? Not only has he hit the 200 mark and gone beyond, he's working on a possible Padre record for strikeouts in a game.
Mark Sweeney, right out of the gate, Tyson Ross has had that release point, working down the zone and great movement.
Really set the tone with all of his pitches. The two-seamer that you saw right there. It's just not the slider anymore. And I think that is the adjustment that a lot of these hitters at the beginning of the year, they started taking. But now you can't take because he is dotting it on both sides of the plate, and he is maturing in front of our eyes.
203 strikeouts on the season, 9 tonight, and just 2 outs in the fourth inning. I said he had not walked a man. He's walked 1. That's the only base runner for the Giants so far. Crawford took a 3rd strike, his first bat. You can see why he's increased his home run count to 19 this year. He takes a huge swing. And a miss 1 and 2.
Now you see that late break, and it's in the hitting zone. A lot of people will talk about tilt and movement. That's what it really exposes you, because the hitter will swing at what he's trying to envision where it's going to end up in the strike zone, and it's late movement from Tyson Ross.
That's like a pitcher with a late action on the fastball. It just kind of gets up on you, bam. And how you create that in your pitching technique, and the pitchers that have it, they're just special.
Well, with four-seamers, it has that elevation, especially with that spin rate that they have. It's the finish that you talk about. But with the two-seamer, you can't pick up that rotation on the ball, and it has late movement down in the strike zone. That's the big difference.
Ground ball swept to the right side. Spangenberg throws him out. A 1-2-3 inning for Tyson Ross, adding another strikeout. Middle of the fourth, no score. Fox Sports San Diego. How about Mike Trout at Houston? His 40th home run of the season for the Angel outfielder. A debatable home run. That's why you see him just jogging in, but a late call by the umpires. And Jake Arrieta, the first Major League pitcher with 20 wins, Cubs right-hander, making a strong bid for the Cy Young Award in the National League. Another shutout, 4-0 over the Brewers. Brewers, by the way, will close out the home schedule and this home stand next week after Arizona plays the weekend.
Well, a tremendous year for both of those young men, and obviously Jake Arrieta is the story in Chicago. And you said on the pregame that the breakout was Jake Arrieta, and I wanted to ask you a question. From 15 wins to 20 wins, what's the difference for those starters?
It's a little bit of luck. It's got to go your way, but with the stuff that Jake Arrieta has sported this year, Mark, a lot of that's on his shoulders and his stuff. I mean, when I saw that no-hitter, and I mentioned the pregame show, my goodness. But to finish off like that and get a lot of your wins in the late parts of the season, August and September, that's telling you something.
2-1 to Upton, leading off the Padre fourth with Jerko and Spangenberg to follow.
Well, they talk about his work ethic and what he does off the field and getting himself to that next level. And I think when you put it all together and you understand that you're working hard off the field and then your stuff really comes into play. And I think when you hit that no-hitter mark, it looks like he's in a different league right now.
And it wasn't that he had bad seasons prior to this one, because when you look at his Baltimore years and that year when he went from Baltimore to Chicago, the ERA was nice, fewer hits than innings pitched. The wins were there. But my goodness, what a year this year.
3-2, and that ball might have been outside ball 4, but Upton protecting. He flew out to center field his first time. 9 strikeouts for Ross through 4. And Heston enters the fourth with 6.
You know what I like about Jake Arrieta, and he went up in stock for me, was that post-game interview after he threw that no-hitter, and he said, yeah, that error, it should have probably been a hit.
Yeah.
That tells you a lot about the kid, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does.
And of course, the man on the mound tonight, the rookie Heston, at 27 through a no-hitter against the Mets back in June.
Wow, what a great night, huh?
No walks, 11 strikeouts. Didn't he strike out the side in the 9th inning?
He did.
Not a perfect game because of an error in the game, apparently. He hit a better, maybe it was. Full count on Justin Upton. And ball 4, leadoff walk for the Padres here in the 4th inning. That's the second free pass from Heston. He allowed 3 base runners in that no-hitter. All 3 were hit batsmen.
Ouch.
Why not?
Sure.
Decrease the pitch count.
Yeah.
No sense walking him if you can hit him.
Just hit him. Smart.
Jet Jerko struck out swinging his first time. He'll celebrate a birthday tomorrow, Jet. He'll be 27.
Well, I think the adjustment from the Padres' perspective, and we've seen this from the hitters of the Padres of late, this whole second half, making adjustments from at bat to at bat. But you got to give Heston that inside part of the plate and dominate that outside part. That's got to be the adjustment in my mind. Because if you're trying to hit both sides of the plate, it makes it very difficult, especially with the type of pitches he has, the curveball, the slider we've seen tonight, and the 2-seamer in. You have to give a little bit until 2 strikes, and then you have to try to battle. You have to capitalize on him making a mistake.
Well, here it is, 2 strikes to Jerko. You have a feeling that Upton is itching to steal another base. He'd like to get 20. Sitting on 19 for a long time. 70th pitch coming up from Heston.
Well, Heston's thinking the same thing, Dick, and this is a nice opportunity with 2 strikes. There's the stolen base numbers right there, 83%. Pretty good percentage picking his spots, but after an off day, why not? Legs probably feel a little bit better.
It might be 0-2. You might be a breaking ball in the dirt from Heston.
Might be a pitch out, too. Popped up. Foul territory off third. Duffy to the barrier. And did he get it? No. Some good Padre fans fought for the souvenir and denied Duffy, who was trying to reach into the second row.
Like he mistimed his jump a little bit. When you get over near the fans, you can see putting that right hand on the wall and just ricocheting off the bottom part of his glove.
Right between the fans' glove and his glove. Close at first. That's a quick move by Heston. The count remains 2 strikes on Jerko.
He is very quick with his feet. Are they going to try to? He's looking in the dugout as if they're on the phone to try to challenge that.
Time's up.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Bet you Ron Wotus, the bench coach. There he is. He's on the phone.
That's just too much time. Even if they do challenge, which apparently they're not. Like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You know, you pick
phone a friend,
phone around and say, what do you think? Well, wait, I'll call somebody else. There's no time limit. Oh, chases away, and you're right. Oh, outside. Heston working the outer corner of the plate. That's strikeout number 7 for him.
Our Ram Trucks Tools of the Trade focuses on home runs at Petco. We're talking about last year and this year, and 2014 combined 101 home runs hit here at Petco Park. Now we fast forward to 2015, Mark Sweeney.
I love it.
The number's up at 153. What do you make of that?
I just think it's you know there's all kinds of win things that happen around here. Buildings are being brought up. I really think it comes into play, and it was a lot warmer this summer.
You think the big scoreboard has anything to do with it?
Some think it might. In the tall building, the new Sempra Energy building, they have impacted the currents, but we haven't had that heavy marine layer
exactly
that usually exists here, especially up through June. It's just been that kind of weather.
At the beginning of the year, you can hear the foghorns. They come in, and you realize the ball's not traveling. Hit it on line. We've seen some balls squared up here at Petco Park.
Spangenberg takes in the dirt.
And I was going to say a lot of that probably has to do with bad pitches, too, from both sides. I mean, Pitchers are going to make mistakes no matter if it's the home team or the away team. And when you have good hitters, you've got an Upton, you've got a Kemp, who's on fire the second half. Jed Jerko, he'll square up a mistake.
Well, they didn't get many home runs out of the outfield class last year.
That's a great point.
You've got Kemp hitting 23 and Upton 26. 2-0 to Spangenberg. Is this a time for Upton to try to steal?
Why not?
He goes inside. The throw right on the money. Beautiful throw by Brown. Joe West punches out Upton. He looks into the dugout as if he thought he was safe.
Well, it was a short hop throw to second base. He has to come up for it and then down and you know what? I think he might have whiffed.
Oh yeah, it looks safe to me on that.
And you can see Justin's foot. It was on the outfield part of the bag. A good slide by Upton.
Well, nice pick by Crawford. He tries to apply the tag and he misses it.
I got the whiff.
Yeah, I do too. And that'd be number 20 for Upton. Yeah, he didn't get the front leg. He'd have been out if he'd been able to get that right leg, but he misses the right leg, then goes for the left, and by that time, too late.
I like your point too, Mark. Sliding on the backside of the base. This is a really good angle. You see that glove going a little bit forward and missing that front leg. But Justin Upton sliding to the right part of the base, that backside, the outfield side of the bag.
This wonderful modern world of ours, two gentlemen in blue or blacks wait for someone on the other side of the country to decide out or safe. Upton rarely argues, and so when he hopped up and looked to the dugout, you figured he certainly thought he was safe, and all the replays seem to indicate that's the case. There are times where there isn't enough evidence to overturn the call on the field.
Well, I think a lot of people are wondering why it takes so long. Well, with the sliding and coming off the bag, they want to check all angles. There's another look at it. That's see that right foot, the back part of the base.
So no doubter from those.
I think this is the angle right here because the front leg, I think, is the issue. He never gets him. He never gets him there. And then the back leg, not even close. Yeah, he never comes in contact with him.
Goodness, what is taking so much time?
I think they're trying to piece it together. Let's check out the space mark, Sweeney and Dick Enberg on the front leg. Watch the glove, balls and glove, space, no tag there, and then not even close on the back end.
And then the tag is applied right there. It's an easy call for me.
Let's see, you want pepperoni, you want mushrooms on it? How about the round hamburger? Double cheese?
See, the pants don't even move on the front side.
And there's the tag.
You know what? I'm going to editorialize here.
Please.
If they miss this call,
what are you going to do?
I'll be really ticked.
Well, I mean, do something really crazy, though.
We got us three knuckleheads up here looking at this. There's no movement of the pants on the swipe on the front end, and he clearly misses the back leg. We've seen three angles where it's been definitive as far as I'm concerned.
I think if they don't overturn it, all three of us ought to boo. We need to send a message.
They would love that, wouldn't they?
Come on, Joe West.
Oh, that's terrible. That is terrible. I'm going to say it. That's horrible. What are they seeing that we are not seeing?
That's a mirage out at second.
That's ridiculous. Horrible.
You see Pat Murphy,
that's brutal.
That's got to be the worst review of the year.
That's brutal.
Find me a worse review than that one. Well, 2 outs. You know what that is?
Yeah, Justin's saying he still hasn't touched me.
So a break for the Giants, apparently, and here's Spangenberg. 3-0 now, 3-1.
Well, a different scenario for Heston as well.
Yeah, instead of second and 1 out. And he walks Spangenberg, so it should be 2 on 2 out.
We can see the in sync with here with the slide, not touching him on the left side, and then sliding in, and not even applying the tag until that right foot is on the back part of the base. They missed it.
It's stunning. How could they call it that way? It isn't Joe West's call. You don't blame him. The umpire, crew chief. It's New York deciding it. And the only explanation would be there was not enough evidence to overturn the call on the field. And that would be their excuse. Austin Hedges, the hitter, popped to short his first time. Breaking ball bends in there. The Angels beat Houston tonight 4-3, and the Astros' terrific season just melting away here in September. Oh, 2.
I like the aggressive nature of Austin Hedges, but he gets on the pull conscious side, and you can see that last swing just pulling off the baseball.
A ball, 2 strikes. Minnesota won tonight, and with Houston losing, the Astros are now in danger of not making the wild card.
They're in trouble. This is when experience really kicks in, and for the young Houston Astros, it's a scary time.
In the dirt again. They started tonight tied with the Mets for the 2 wild card spots, but Minnesota only 3 back. Minnesota's won, so they're now only 2 ahead of Minnesota. The Angels have won. They're only 2.5 out of a wild card spot.
Sometimes it's better to be the hunter instead of the hunted.
I like it.
2-2. Spangenberg at first. There he goes. Check swing roller to short. Crawford gobbles that up and throws him out. And the Padres get a couple of walks, but nothing to show for it. On to the 5th. Still no score. Break. 10th inning in Toronto. Greg Bird of the Yankees with 2 on hits a 3-run homer. The Jays get 1 in the bottom of the 10th, but the Yankees prevail 6-4. And let's check our National University standings in the American League. The Yankees are 2.5 behind Toronto for the division lead, and they lead by 4 over Houston for the wild card. But Houston would be the second wild card, but Minnesota and the Angels are lurking.
You know, the Blue Jays had bases loaded in the 8th in that game with Encarnacion to play, but couldn't come through.
Wow. Greg Bird's had a great September for the New York Yankees, filling in for Mark Teixeira.
So, no score. Only one base runner for Houston as we go to the 5th inning. That was a walk to Adrianza. Bird pounds one foul. He grounded to short his first time. Bird, Tomlinson, and Adrianza for the Giants here in the 5th.
Well, you're probably going to see some aggressive swings by the Giants early in the counts now as Tyson Ross is racking up the strikeouts.
Yeah, the Giants, in faltering here in September, can look to just one spot in their schedule that has been their ultimate defeat, and that's on the road. In the last 21 games, they're 5-16.
And after the All-Star break, Dick, they had a brutal schedule, both on the road, at home, playing above 500 teams on a consecutive series.
Sliced foul to right.
And then the series in Los Angeles, where they walked in there, they had to make a statement. They came out of there getting swept, and I think
3 one-run defeats
really took the air out of the balloon for me.
And now they rest 7 games off the lead. Bird, a good addition as they battle to get after the Dodgers at the late July trade deadline. There's the first hit of the game for the Giants, and it's a solid single to right center off the bat of Bird. And just as he demolished Padre pitching in the 3-game series up in San Francisco, he gets the first nut tonight.
Looks like he went fastball away. Went down and got it. And like you said, Mark Sweeney, with the stuff Tyson Ross has tonight, he tried to pull that. It's a weak ground ball to the left side. He stayed on that ball nicely.
So each team with one hit, a single. Bird single here opening the 5th, and Solarte single back in the 1st inning for the Padres. Tomlinson trying to push a bunt. Struck out swinging his first time.
There's Will Myers in the bunt situations. Just the little things at first base that he's going to have to go through. Guy on first base coming off the base and reading the hitter, but also those bunt situations. So many little things at first base that are very difficult if you're playing the new position. At first, you just go into it not thinking too much, and then you start thinking a lot about the little things that you have to do.
Yeah, everybody who thinks you can just throw in a first baseman's glove and go over there and make a difference, it's a different story. He's been working hard with Glenn Hoffman.
And I love that too. I mean, they're putting the work in. He will always be here early. There's Glenn Hoffman, the infield instructor, also the third base coach. But putting the effort in, footwork, how you're handling feeding the pitcher on the PFPs, pitcher's fielding practice. So many things that are involved to be a good first baseman.
Also thrown to another base on the move, like for instance here.
Chopped to first foul. Nice play.
Billy Hayes, first base coach for the Giants, making a left-handed grab.
No, you got to love Billy Hayes. One of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
He and Willie Blair looked like they were separated at birth.
That's a good call.
Well, how about the Monos by Billy Hayes? Yeah, oh, there it is. Ever seen the movie Awakenings? Catching the tennis balls? That's old school.
Robert De Niro.
Nice call.
2 strikes to Tomlinson. Could be 2. Jerko does it all himself. 6-3 on the double play. Was a room service double play ball off the bat of Tomlinson.
Well, you think about the difference of Tyson Ross last year inducing more double plays, and that is huge for him. Working the ball down in the strike zone, seeing Jed Jerko take it himself. A nice feed to first base. That's an easy turn.
Why less double plays this year for Ross.
Well, that's one of those things, and I think it's a good one to ask you, Mark. Is that the difference of getting Tyson Ross to that next level?
Absolutely. I mentioned it in our pregame show when we talked about Tyson. Whenever he has walked a hitter or given up a hit, he has pounded the zone with that slider, even behind in the count, inducing a ground ball, and that's why I think you've seen more double plays. There's only, if I remember correctly, only 5 times this year he's given up fewer hits than innings pitched. So that means to me when he's up against the wall, whether it's a walk base hit, he makes that nasty pitch to get a grounder and get 2.
Just misses.
He's got such great movement to ball. He could throw the ball down the center of the plate with that slider. You get it down and away to the righty. He throws that 2-seamer down and in. And if you're consistently doing that, you're going to get those ground balls.
Yeah, and we've seen the cutter come into play tonight,
right.
too. It's
Yes.
it's one of those you're going to give up if you recognize that slider out of the hands. But what the cutter will do is just getting off the barrel, both with the 2-seamer and the cutter, inducing those ground balls.
Mark, the perfect example of that was last half inning for the Giants. When remember Brandon Crawford grounded out to second base. It was Austin Hedges put down a 2. It was a backdoor cutter, and he got the ground ball, the 4-3.
Full count, Adrianza, and he walks for the second time. The only 2 walks given up by Ross tonight. So last year, 21 double plays, 17 this.
You know, the increase of walks, I mean, that's a concern at times. I think that's going to get better. But for Tyson Ross to get to that next level, in my opinion, has to pitch better when he doesn't have his stuff. Like, that's the next progression. If you think about it, we already mentioned Jake Arrieta.
Yeah.
Last year had a whip of under 1, so had a successful year, 10-5. But I think if you look at Tyson Ross moving forward into next year, assuming that he's probably going to be at the top of the rotation, like, that's the difference he has to make. So when he doesn't have his stuff, he doesn't have that wipeout slider, what he can go to induce those ground balls, those easy outs.
Catcher Trevor Brown took a 3rd strike his first time.
Yes,
and
he did.
He goes around there, 1-1. He was hitting .261 at Sacramento this year, just a couple of home runs. And so far 0 for 6 as a big leaguer. Adrian's at first, 2 outs. He stole second the first time. Okay, I'll ask you a delicate question, you 2 gentlemen. Let's say the Padres were a wild card team. You got to pick one pitcher. Do you go with James Shields or Tyson Ross?
I'm going Tyson Ross because I want him to be that guy. Not that James Shields shouldn't be the guy. I think I want Tyson Ross to be that guy. I want him to want that ball, stick his hand out, and get that opportunity, because I think moving forward, if you can reach your potential, I think Tyson needs that situation.
5 years younger than Shields.
How about you, Mark?
You know, it's a pick 'em. I think Tyson Ross is more dominating with his stuff, with the 2-seamer and with the slider. And once again, not taking anything away from James Shields, because of the innings pitch. He's going to eat innings and he's going to strike out guys too.
Runner goes, and that ball is drilled to deep left center field. A long run for Jankowski. Can't get there. Oh, no, it doesn't go over the wall in the bounce. The ground roll will have held Adrianza to first base, but he comes around to score. Only the second hit of the game for the Giants, the first major league hit for Trevor Brown, and it gives the Giants a 1-0 lead. The walk comes around to score. For a moment, I thought that was going to kangaroo over the center field fence, and that would have kept Adrianza at third.
Well, one of the few pitches at Tyson Ross, that ball missed middle in, even with the movement. Still, it's tough to square up. The home run is also an issue. You know, Tyson Ross has given up fewer home runs this year, too. I think I would take that in consideration, keeping the ball in the yard. Even though a lot of the home runs that James Shields have given up have been solo shots, still, I think that's one of the considerations, too. Keeping the ball in the ballpark for one game.
Well, what a bad break for the Padres, too. That ball staying in the playing field. If that bounces over, you got second and third, and no one's scoring yet.
Pitcher Heston struck out swinging the first time. He has a couple of doubles this year, 3 RBIs, hitting over 200. 1-1.
How close did it come to bouncing over that center field wall?
Yeah, right at the top of the wall, and unfortunately, you'd have second and third pitching to the opposing pitcher with 2 outs.
So the first 2 hits of the game against Ross are here in the 5th inning. Bird single and now the RBI double by Brown, and he jumps in front. 1-2 to Heston. So this next pitch will be his 21st, the longest inning for him tonight. Up to 85 deliveries. Strikeout number 10 ends the inning, but the Giants are on the board. A walk and an RBI double. First major league hit for Trevor Brown.
Deep to left. That one is way back, way back, way back. Pull it to by number 600 for Willie Mays and the bye-bye Baby Bonanza. And the Giants come to home plate to greet him. Number 600 for Mays. He hit it over the 370-foot mark. A standing ovation here in San Diego for Willie.
That's our Geico on this day in baseball history. In 1969 at the Murph, Yankee legend Babe Ruth at that time was the only major leaguer to hit 600 home runs until Willie Mays. That was a pinch homer, number 600. And it was a pinch home run and won the game against Mike Corkins 4-2. That was Lon Simmons with a call with a bye-bye baby.
And that was without the inner wall that came years later.
Yeah. I tell you what, and you know this, Mark, too, being in a Giants uniform, being able to rub shoulders with Willie Mays.
Pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. Talking about a kid in a candy store.
Tyson Ross takes a 4-pitch walk to lead off the 5th inning. Finally with a lead, 1-0. Chris Heston walks his 4th man. He also has hit a batter. Got away with walking Upton to lead off the last inning when Upton was called out on a controversial New York decision that Upton was tagged out on the steal attempt. Jankowski up there figures to be bunting. They even have a song they still sing up there at AT&T, Bye Bye Baby.
That's right.
Oh, wasn't going to bunt on that first pitch. Takes a strike, a curveball. Jankowski walked and stole a second base, his only at bat.
Tell you what, you get an off-speed pitch like that, righty into the lefty, and you hang it and rifle it down in that right field corner. Giants outfield, especially in right field. Bird playing over towards the gap.
1-1.
Well, Bird's playing over there. A lot of room down this line here. he can get something soft and pull it.
George Contos, well-used right-hander out of the bullpen. Center field, but here comes Pagan in a hurry, and he chases it down.
Good first step.
Brings up the leadoff man, Will Myers, who's been up twice, struck out twice. Eight home runs for Myers in his limited play because of that wrist injury and surgery, but all indications he seems 100% healthy now. A good stop by Brown.
See, Adrianza not holding Tyson Ross on because defensive purposes. Not your prototypical first baseman, but you'll come off the bag defensively. So you can be much better off the bag, knowing Tyson Ross probably isn't going to steal second.
Nice hold there on the right side for Myers to aim a possible base hit. A few pitches inside here, 2-0.
I was just going to say, he got Myers with the sweeping breaking ball the last time up. I'm wondering if he's throwing that two-seamer in for show and then flipping that stuff up there as Dave Righetti on the right talks with Bruce Bochy on the giant bench.
What's Bruce thinking there?
Think about getting somebody up.
90 pitches.
What do you think there, Ragu?
Yeah. And 3-0. Much better hitter with runners on. Much better, 339 average.
Yeah, you'll see some guys lock it in, especially with runners on. If you think about off days, a lot of people are dying for off days in September, but not Will Myers.
And another 4-pitch walk. He walked Ross on 4 pitches, so 2 men on, 1 out, and Solarte the batter. That's 5 free tickets plus a hit batsman. And Righetti going to go out and talk to the 27-year-old Heston. And we remind you that closed captioning is brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. As they talk, ran into really an interesting little piece of trivia. Now and then there's one that says, man, this is really a good
I love
one.
trivia.
Yeah, this may be one of the better ones of the year. If you go to the baseball dictionary all time, A to Z, look through all the names of all the players that have been in this major league uniform,
right,
and you start with the A's forever, the first name on that list was?
Well, I think
Aaron.
It was Hank
Yeah,
Aaron.
it was Henry Aaron. Of course.
Sorry about it.
But right, no.
Trivial
But
Pursuit
no
champion,
longer.
5th grade.
Well, now you got to move on.
Oh, okay.
Now, a former, well, actually, not just now, he's with Atlanta now. A pitcher has replaced Aaron as the first A in the dictionary.
David Artsma.
You got it.
Nice.
So now you're tied. Sports Challenge continues.
Okay, I'll
so
take the bonus
Artsma
question.
is ahead.
Don't
now
touch
we go to the Z's. And you won't know the Z that's been there forever. Dutch Zwilling, Z-W-I-L-L-I-N-G, back
just
in
missed that one.
1910, 1916. You came a little later. We'll give you the rest of the story, as they say. 2 on to Solarte. So Zwilling has been the last name in the baseball dictionary.
How do you spell that last name?
Z-W-I-L-L-I-N-G. So we're talking 100 years. Well, this year, in September, the Mariners called up a relief pitcher, Tony Zych, Z-Y-C-H.
Wow.
Ground ball, left field, base hit. Rounding third and holding is Ross as the throw comes in and the bases are loaded. As Solarte has his second base hit. He's been on base all 3 times.
Well, that's a good hold by Glenn Hoffman, too. You got your starting pitcher in scoring position coming around third. You don't want to put him in that bad position, but nice swing by Yangervis Solarte going the other way, and you see Ross making that turn, and Glenn Hoffman, the easy choice. Watch Tyson Ross. He's trying to do everything to try to get that angle. He gets shut down early.
So here comes Bochy with 2 walks and a single, bases loaded, 1 out. Bochy goes to the bullpen, and we'll give you the rest of the story when we come back.
Nothing, and tweet your strongest fan photo. You got to use the hashtag #SDDataStrongFan. Just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by our good friends at T-Mobile.
And our pitching change brought to you by El Cajon Ford. It's George Cantos entering the game with the bases loaded, 1 out, and the Giants in front 1-0. And Matt Kemp, with Justin Upton on deck to face the Cantos.
Last 11 outings for Cantos. He's been throwing the ball well, and that's why Bruce Bochy has him out there. A .90 ERA. Only 1 earned run. Opponent's hitting 147, looking for the ground ball. And as you mentioned, Dick, Matt Kemp, he's a threat coming up with the bases loaded.
Top RBI man with 98. Runs batted in on the year, 3rd best in the National League, and they're loaded up for him. With the bases loaded, a .500 hitter, 6 for 12 this year. 13 runs batted in. Yeah, they're out there for him, and a chance for the Padres to grab the lead.
Straight up in the outfield.
He's lined out and struck out Kemp. He's also hit into more double plays than any Padre, and that's how the Giants are playing on the infield, looking for a chance at 2. 2-run single would give him his 100th RBI. Slider. Tying run pitcher Ross at 3rd. The go-ahead score Myers at 2nd. Solarte at 1st. Lifted into foul territory, and that's going to be corralled by Adrianza, who quickly gets the ball into the plate, and Ross holds. So the Padres aren't going to tie it on an out, as Kemp denied on the foul out. And here's Upton, who has fly to center and walked. Big out. Cantos comes in under pressure and gets the 3rd best RBI man in the league to foul out.
Yeah, not that hard of a thrower, Mark Sweeney and Dick. He's a 3-pitch pitcher. He's got to rely on location. The cutter's about 90, with the fastball about 92, 93.
This one Justin has to pick up Matt.
There's that cutter. Look at the high strike. We've seen that tonight, and we have not seen a low strike tonight.
Oh, that's that backup cutter.
Diamondbacks. Tracks supporting Rayburn's call. It was a strike. One and one. 94 from Contos. Only 2 hits allowed by starter Heston, but 5 walks and a hit batsman. 7 strikeouts, a lot of pitches over 90. 1-0 Giants here in the 5th. 2-1.
Well, that's a good take by Justin.
And the action pitch coming up at 2-1 with the bases loaded.
You can almost assume that he's going to pitch away because he does not want to get hurt by Justin Upton on that pull side. Ooh, got a mistake.
Another high pitch, 2-2. Ross, Myers, Solarte aboard, bases loaded, 2-2 the count. That'll be out of play.
Mark Sweeney, middle in. Oh my gosh, did you see that last pitch? Justin wants that one back.
He does. Well, here it is. Perfect timing just underneath the baseball, just a tad. The location right down the middle. The power in his stroke.
Padre perched at every pillow. In a tight 1-0 Giant lead.
See if he goes back to that slider.
Goes upstairs with a fastball.
Well, that's what happens, and that might have been a cutter that just got away from him, Dick. They're trying to overthrow it because of that presence in the batter's box. That's what Justin Upton will do to you.
Jerko hoping he gets the bat because it would mean the Padres have at least 1 run. Full count. They'll all wind up and start for home. And Upton get a couple of them in. Full count. High drive, left center field. Hit pretty well, but Pagan has room, and they collide for a moment. But Pagan holds on to the final out. He just missed a grand slam. Padres leave them loaded. We've completed 5. It's still Giants 1, Padres nothing.
Upton, Mark Sweeney, and he had a few pitches that he could have done some damage with. As Contos delivers, he throws the cutter, the slider, and the fastball. There's one up in the zone. See how high that one was up in the zone? Swung on and missed. That's the one that really hurt, the one that was middle in. Worked underneath it, as you mentioned. There's one that gets away. That looked like the slider you were talking about, or cutter. And then that last pitch there, number 7, just got under a little bit.
Yeah, and it looked like Justin Upton had the right intent to let it travel just a little bit and just underneath that baseball where Pagan secures it for the last out. But nice battle by Contos and Justin Upton.
You got 2 tough outs. Kemp to foul out and Upton on the long fly ball out. Leaving the bases loaded and the Giants still in front 1-0 as we go to the 6th inning and the top of the order, Angel Pagan against Tyson Ross. Ross with 10 strikeouts, 2 walks. One of the 2 came around to score in the last inning. He's moved over the 200 mark. He now has 204 strikeouts. Pagan 2 times tonight has punched out. Ross's career high in strikeouts, 1 away, 11. 1-1. Pagan, Diaza, and Duffy in the Giants' 6th inning. Slap foul. I'm going to finish that whole A to Z, the dictionary, the baseball dictionaries. So Dutch Zwilling, Z-W-I-L-I-N-G, had owned that last page and the last name in the dictionary for almost 100 years. Tony Zych, Z-Y-C-H, called up on September 4th, is now the last. And Tony Zich's middle name is Aaron.
Nice call.
What?
From A to Z.
The A to Z.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So Aaron to Aardsma, Zwilling to Zich, but Zich also has a middle name Aaron. 2-2. And that way inside.
When you go over to the family reunion, you walk, hey, what's up, Ziches? Say hi to the whole family.
Yeah, that's right. You'd love to be invited to Thanksgiving. 3-2. Ground ball up the middle. Spangenberg, good range, and throws him out. The speedy Pagan nailed on a fine play by Spangenberg.
Well, another one of the middle infielders out for early work, and why not? Going to his right. Nice pitch by Tyson, inducing that ground ball, but to his right and the accurate throw and getting something on it to get Pagan.
That's very impressive. He's well beyond second base, and he's still got a little hair on that one to get it over to Will Myers.
Almost ran into Joe West.
You don't want to do that.
You'll be hearing country music for the next 3 days. Alejandro Dianza, he grounds the other way. This time it's Jerko. He throws low in the dirt. He can't do what Spangenberg just offered, and safe at first is Dianza. See how they score it.
Well, here it is, a ground ball, and it's to Jed Jerko's right, and on the move, and the low throw. Watch Will Myers trying to set his feet just a little bit late, and that glove work.
Yeah.
The feet work with the hands, the little things about first base.
Infield.
That Will Myers is going to have to, sorry, Dick, is going to have to create for himself.
Right, it's an infield hit for Dianza. Third hit allowed by Ross tonight. Matt Duffy has struck out both at bats. Time now for our Arco top tier profile featuring Matt Duffy, the rookie third baseman for the Giants, leading the National League rookies in hits, batting average, and runners in scoring position. Second in runs and third in doubles. Terrific year for Duffy.
Well, and this is the guy that really came into camp knowing that he didn't have a starting position. Casey McGee was brought over to be the third baseman, and then Casey McGee failed at that spot. And here are the numbers. See, 49 games, not a good average for Casey McGee. He lost that position and steps in Matt Duffy, drafting and developing for the San Francisco Giants, and credit them and credit Matt for capitalizing on opportunity.
Runner goes. Hedges double clutched, and Pagan has his 10th stolen base of the year. Or Diaz, rather, excuse me, has the stolen base.
Oh, what's the difference? A clean transfer or just that little bit? Give me the difference between out and safe, and it kind of rushes a little bit. The throw is high. Now Jed's got to go up and get it and bring the tag all the way down. By that time, Diaz is in safely.
They ought to challenge that, because they probably turned that over based on what we saw earlier.
Hey, speaking of Matt Duffy, Derek Jeter has a website, Players Tribune. Have you read about it? Have you heard about it? That's great. Players write in. It's a self-told story. Matt Duffy tells a story about when he got called up to the big leagues. It's a great read, how the veteran players approached him. And I'm paraphrasing this, but for instance, Hunter Pence approached him, one of the first guys, shook his hand and said, not only just welcome to the big leagues, but dude, we need you.
Yeah.
We need you to contribute. It just isn't one of the pat on the back, hey, you know what, this is going to be a great life. No. And Matt Duffy, it's a great read. Once again, Players Tribune, it's Derek Jeter's website for players. They write in firsthand as a story about what has happened to them.
Yeah, and you go back to the importance of spring training and developing those relationships. But as soon as you get into that major league locker room, all things are different.
Oh, yeah.
And to welcome him and to know he is a big part of it. Well, he has shown that he has capitalized on those opportunities, and I credit him for that.
Full count. Strike three called, and Duffy goes down for the third time. All called strike three. And that ties the career high for Tyson Ross, his 11th strikeout tonight. And it's time for our Cholula flamethrower.
And with Tyson Ross, the big right-hander, we know he can get it up there at 96. Mark Sweeney?
Oh, my gosh, it's hot sauce. That's unbelievable.
Oh.
That's 96 with movement. I got chili garlic on that.
2 points off for over-emoting.
Really? Do you know where I can get a fish taco?
No.
I can tell you.
They closed all the fish taco shops here. You were raiding them.
Not on Tuesdays.
Oh, you got it. That is. Yeah.
Sorry about it.
Taco Tuesday. Brandon Crawford. Ground ball into right field. That sends Diaz around third. He's going to score. And the Giants bolster their lead 2-0. Crawford delivers his 78th RBI of the year. So the infield hit, the stolen base, and Crawford with a timely 2-out single.
Mark Sweeney, I want to go back to you because you mentioned it either last half inning or so, but these Giants hitters swinging early to avoid the movement of that two-seamer or that slider when getting ahead. And I think that's a perfect example of what Brandon Crawford did right there.
Anytime a pitcher's racking up strikeouts, you have to be aggressive. You have to look up in the strike zone, and credit Brandon Crawford for getting that pitch and executing his plan.
His 100th pitch becomes an RBI single and a 2-0 deficit for the Padres. Marlon Byrd singled, first hit of the game for the Giants back in the 5th inning. Sends it out of play. Ross had gone through the first 4, allowing only one base runner, a walk to Adrianza. So the stolen base plays a factor in this inning, as Diaz able to get himself in scoring position for the single by Crawford. Two strikes on Byrd.
Well, if you think about it, Dick, Bruce Bochy, he gets super aggressive when he starts getting that lead. They know they play so many one-run ball games, not only at their home ballpark, but in this division. And he understands that stealing that base, getting in opportunities, giving your offense those opportunities to single a guy in. And he has an aggressive nature, especially when he's playing from ahead.
Fastball at 93 upstairs, 1-2. As Nick Vincent begins loosening up under the watchful eye of bullpen coach Willie Blair. Runner goes. Ground ball to short. Jerko across. Throws it away. On to third goes Crawford on the throwing error by Jed Jerko. That's his first error at shortstop. So first and third as Bird safe at first. Crawford over to third, and it's Kelby Tomlinson, the rookie second baseman. They struck out and grounded into a double play.
Well, this is frustrating. An easy ground ball to Jed Jerko. Good hands, and then working underneath the baseball. That elevates Will Myers and over his head. Catchable ball for Will Myers. He's going to have to catch that to keep them from advancing to third base in those situations.
Yeah, Mark, you make a good point. One of the idiosyncrasies or things you have to work on is sometimes leaving the bag to prevent that ball from going over. I mean, there's no way he's not Bill Walton. He can't stay on that bag and reach that. So preventing that ball from going over his head, there's times when you have to come off the bag to prevent that runner from going to third base.
Well, listen, all we're saying for Will Myers is there's some adjustments that you have to make. And you'll see when you're getting ready for that throw from Jed Jerko, you'll get a sense of that runner, where he is in relationship. You already know the speed in Marlon Byrd. You know he's going to get out of the batter's box. But those are some of the things that you're going to have to work on moving forward if you're going to be playing first base.
So the Giants get an extra out, but the Padres are going to hold them to just the one run as Spangenberg throws out Tomlinson. A run on a couple of hits and an error. It's 2-0 Giants. Baseball brought to you by Sequan Casino. Play, win together in the heart of San Diego. And by Sony Action Cam. Prove yourself. Padres wearing their strikeout cancer shirts. They took batting practice today, most of them without the formal jersey, wearing the strikeout cancer. The pedal for cancer cause raised over $1 million.
Nice.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
It's a great first year for the Padres and everybody that pulled in. It was a great atmosphere here when we did the telethon.
Yeah, I was meaning to ask you about that. A lot of electricity at the park.
It was great. I mean, for a first year and getting the ball rolling here, I thought it was really important.
Jed Jerko leads off the Padres sixth inning as San Diego down 2-0 to San Francisco. Jerko up twice, has struck out twice. Then Spangenberg and Hedges to follow against reliever George Cantos. Heston left with the lead thanks to Cantos getting Kemp and Upton with the bases loaded, but he can't win the game. He did not pitch the full 5. So Cantos with a chance to pick up a victory if he can go a couple of innings. 3-2 on the season.
Mark, you mentioned earlier how Bruce Bochy likes to be aggressive when they get the lead and possibly add on late. And it's why it's so important. That's a great point by you, because the Giants, when they lead after 7, they're 70-4. So now Padres got some work to do here in the bottom of the 6th, and hopefully in the 7th as well.
Well, we know how he can manage a bullpen. It's one of his strengths.
And Jerko strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. Our game is presented in fantastic HD by Sony. It's the first strikeout for Cantos. And Hunter Strickland begins throwing now in the Giant bullpen. And Josh Osich, lefty, getting ready. Spangenberg has struck out and walked. Hits that one high in the air to right. It's down near the Petco porch. This could be trouble. It is a home run. Spangenberg will touch them all. It's 2-1. Giants as Spangenberg clubs his 4th home run of the season.
We saw Corey with the home run in Colorado. And this is a nice swing. This had some good sound on it. But a high fastball, it looked like to me, elevated, and he puts a nice barrel on that baseball and keeping it fair, straight down the line.
Into the Petco porch, and Cantos trying to body language it fouled unsuccessfully. Spangenberg cuts into that 2-0 lead with a solo homer. Here's Austin Hedges. High ball 1. Some of the hamburgers a little overcooked out there in left field. Hedges has popped to short, grounded to short.
He got to that fastball nicely.
Yeah, it was nice. He pulled his hands in, and when you hit that ball straight down the line, that's a perfect swing, keeping your hands inside the baseball.
Yeah, so that ball doesn't hook. You're right, Mark. That is a tough pitch to keep fair.
You saw the conversation there. The 2 men that own all the hits tonight. Solardi with a pair of singles, and now Spangenberg with a home run. Could have been a called strike, but instead Hedges works the count.
Cantos has got to be careful. A couple of those pitches have been up. 1 and 3.
And he's really overthrowing his breaking ball, and it's staying up in the strike zone, as you talked about, Mark.
Alexi Amarista's in the on-deck circle. Tyson Ross is due to hit next. Spangenberg's home run measured at 348 feet. Long enough. And another strikeout. The second for Cantos. Heston struck out 7 while he was in there. And here's Amarista. So Tyson Ross's night is over. He goes 6 innings, allows 2 runs, 4 hits, walked 2, and struck out a career-tying 11. Kevin Quackenbush next in line, apparently.
Well, nice night in the big leagues for Tyson Ross. As the numbers you see, the 11 strikeouts. More and more he looks comfortable. Good rhythm tonight. Good chemistry with Austin Hedges behind the plate.
Well, the 2 runs, a walk led to one of the runs, a double by Brown, getting Adrianza in, and the infield hit and a stolen base set up the single by Crawford for the other run. Top to first base, and the play made before Amarista could arrive by Adrianza, unassisted. But Spangenberg puts the Padres on the board with his 4th home run of the year. After 6, it's 2-1.
Petco Park this Saturday for Star Wars Day. It's going to be awesome. Come to the game dressed in your best Star Wars costume. Purchase a special Star Wars ticket package. You get custom themed T-shirts available only for the first 2,000 fans with a Star Wars Day ticket. Tickets only at Padres.com/Star Wars. And these are pretty nice.
And how about Jedi? And look who's there. Huh?
Return to the Jedi. It's Jet Jerko. And hey, the Chempire Strikes Back. And then what's the other one?
Star Wars. Feel the Force. And that's you, I think.
That's Yoda.
Oh, Yoda, yeah.
Feel
Yoda Berry.
The Force.
Yoda Berra.
Oh.
Who knew? The new pitcher is Kevin Quackenbush. Don't give him any leash. Hey, tie him up. Doctor. We have a call here at booth 3. Quack facing Adrianza, who walked both times facing Tyson Ross. Ross goes 6 innings, 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts. Another low-scoring, tight game when the Giants come to Petco.
Time for Kevin Quackenbush to shut down the Giants. You see the box score for the Gigantes.
53rd appearance by Quackenbush. Has a 3-2 record. Opposing batters hitting just .230. He has given up 5 home runs this year. Good pitch. 2-2. This year, the Giants in 1-run games, surprisingly, their record is not good. Swing and a miss, and Quackenbush joins the strikeout party. The Giants in 1-run games are 16-24. You would think it would be the opposite, wouldn't you?
Well, as we promised you earlier, and we like to keep our promise, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Got to use the hashtag SD Data Strong fan.
What do you have for us?
Chance to be featured. Oh, we've got the righty lefty combo. Jose at SD Bolt 1. Thank you very much. Appreciate your participation in the fan photo. Nicely done.
Wild Blue yonder, the Air Force represented.
Yeah, we appreciate your service. Thank you very much.
Well, Trevor Brown, a big factor in the game tonight with Posey scratched from the lineup late. Brown then entered as a replacement, and this is his first major league hit back in the 5th inning. A double to deep left center field, and that drove in the first run of the game. So a big night for the former UCLA Bruin. He was drafted 3 years ago in the 10th round. Jared Parker is in the on-deck circle. Apparently he will hit for George Cantos. Strike, 2-2. The count out, 3-2. Hunter Strickland obviously ready when called for. Sharply hit on 2 hops to Jerko. 2 away. And that'll bring up Parker. A call up, and he's done a good job off the bench. He's 3 for 5 as a pinch hitter with a home run.
You know, Dick, this 7th inning, this was one of the innings on this last road trip that was a little dicey for the Padres, whether they were close 1 run or they were up 1 runner. But it was a very, very interesting inning this last road trip. Some runs were scored that were the difference maybe in the games.
Kind of took a close game out of reach, so you can't go to your 1-2 punch.
Yep.
Benoit and Kimbrel for the 8th and 9th innings. 18 at bats total with 5 hits for Parker. Alonso has been on the bench for a long time. He finished the season with 5 home runs and 31 runs batted in. 282 average. That would represent the best of any Padre at this point. Parker was a high draft pick by the Giants 5 years ago. They took him in the 2nd round. 2-1 the count. .6:30 tomorrow night, fans, for game 2 of the series. Andrew Cashner on the hill for the Padres against former Padre Jake Peavy. And on Thursday night, an hour earlier, a 6:10 game, 5:30 for us here on television, will be Ian Kennedy, and a chance for you to come out and see one of the best in the business, Madison Bumgarner, for the Giants. He's got 18 wins. Check swing foul, Parker. Count stays full. Sorry to hear the news that Al Locasal passed yesterday, 82 years of age. He was with the Chargers in their AFL days.
I saw that in the paper today. Yeah.
I worked with Al Locasal.
Did you?
Yeah, my first NFL game. Out of play.
Where was that?
I had just started at KTLA in Los Angeles, and they acquired 4 exhibition games of the Chargers, and that was my first NFL action. And Al Locasal was my colorman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, very knowledgeable guy. He was Al Davis's right hand man.
Oh, that's right.
And a walk to Parker with 2 outs. First by Quackenbush.
Hey, Thursday, October 1st, the NHL returns to Fox Sports San Diego with preseason Ducks hockey. They're going to drop the puck. Faceoff starts with a showdown against the Avalanche of Colorado. Ducks hockey is back right here. Fox Sports San Diego.
And all the more interesting now, Mark Grant, because the #1 farm club are the San Diego Gulls.
That's right.
So we got a lot to root for now.
Love it.
Pagan has struck out twice, and a good play made by Spangenberg at second base to throw him out in the 6th inning.
Ooh, pretty good pitch. I think Kevin thought so as well.
2-1, the Giants lead it.
He could play a heavy in the movies, couldn't he? Pagan,
oh, he sure could.
With that face, those eyes.
Double barrel working. Mark Zepchinski, Nick Vincent, lefty righty.
One and one.
Yeah, well, we had some time off, got into a new show. Longmire, have you heard about that?
Longmire, no.
It's on cable and about a sheriff in modern day Wyoming.
Oh,
and one of those where you can get two nights you watch 5
sure.
episodes.
Absolutely,
kind of good stuff. Yeah. Robert Taylor is the actor, a very excellent actor, believable and interesting character. A tough guy sheriff, but he's also got to have sympathy, empathy. He's got his own problems, and then he's trying to solve others. Good
so
stuff.
It's a series.
Yeah.
Longmire. Fouled away.
It's amazing these days you can bring up anything on your iPad or your computer and watch it.
We got to make a movie, the two of us. I'll let you be the lead.
No.
I want to be the bad guy. That's what I'd like to be.
The professor and the dummy.
You can sit on my lap the whole show.
2-2 the count.
No, I think it should be Who Wants to Be a Billionaire, because you'd be very good at playing that game.
Need a punch out here.
Parker goes. The throw by Hedges is into center field. Parker on his feet will make it to third. And the stolen base an error.
So a walk, stolen base, E2. And the Giants have a chance to get the run back that Spangenberg provided the Padres with a home run.
This ball leaks a little bit to the right field side of second base. See Austin very quick, but see that ball?
Looked like a two-seamer.
Yeah, it sure did. Footwork's there, just kind of working underneath it a little bit and not getting that release point out as far as he would like.
Second Padre error of the night. High fly ball deep to right field. Kemp is just looking. Not a good sign. Can he get there? No! Off the wall and into the jack deck for a home run. How did he not get that ball? Even Pagan smiling as he circles the bases, and the Giants lead 4-1. Right off the top of the wall. And jackknifes into the jack deck. How close did Kemp come to catching this?
Had plenty of time to get back to the wall. Now it's time to time the jump, and
well, that's about a 3 to 4 foot base there. So it's right in the middle of it. Yeah, just out of his reach.
Hey, should have had it.
No, I don't
Could have had
so.
it. Maybe. And you can see the frustration in Matt's face there.
And now a looper that falls into right field in front of Kemp off the bat of Diaza. So a walk with 2 outs, and Quackenbush gives up another home run, his 6th of the season.
It would have been had to have been a spectacular play for Matt to time that perfectly and go up and get that glove up enough to get it before it hits the top of that wall.
And how about Pagan? He's hit 3 home runs all year, 2 against the Padres. They measured that at 368 feet. So Quackenbush gives up a walk and a home run. It's 4-1 Giants.
in relief, but this year 6 for whatever reason. And the Padres now trail by 3 to the Giants.
Well, sometimes Dick, pitchers go through those little things like that. And one year from the next, one thing might change. You never know. Making pitches that opponents are going to capitalize on. That one there just barely got out. But
yeah. And then Diaz just dumps a soft single into right.
Yep.
Bringing on Nick Vincent.
You know, when a pitcher is throwing well and things are going his way, that ball's caught right at the wall.
Yeah.
When pitchers are throwing the ball well, that little looper is right into the glove of the second baseman. It's one of those things sometimes you just can't explain.
It's one of your conundrums.
Yeah. And you know what? We see it all the time. Pitches right down the middle, guy will foul it back. When things aren't going your way, it's in the seats.
Like Upton said bad earlier with the bases loaded.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, it's a tough game.
Yeah, it is. But once again, that 7th inning, we talked about it last road trip. You know, the 2 runs here in the 7th separates the Giants by 3 now, where it was just a 1-run deficit.
Duffy has struck out all 3 times, all looking. One ball, 1 strike. Vincent making his 21st appearance. One and 2 to Duffy.
Did you enjoy your time off?
Yeah, just basically didn't do a lot.
Good for you.
We did go up. My daughter's that passed away back in March. We went up to the Bay Area and had a nice celebration of her life.
Good for you.
So that was a highlight in terms of just being with family, and reliving a special person.
Good.
Almost hit him. Hedges throw in time, right on the head of Diaz, who had stolen the base earlier in the game. But the Giants in the 7th get a couple of runs on a couple of hits. And at the stretch half of the 7th, it's San Francisco up front 4-1.
Fox Sports San Diego. But first, SD Live. Tonight, our guests are San Diego Padres Executive Chairman Ron Fowler and President and Chief Executive Officer Mike D.
Rest assured, we're not going to stand pat. We're going to look to find ways to make this team competitive both in 2016 and beyond.
All right, a big night after the conclusion of tonight's game and after Padres Live, the post-game show. SD Live. The men from Mahogany Row will give you insight into what's ahead for 2016. And, of course, it's going to be an incredibly exciting year for the Padres and the fans of San Diego as this fine city will host the All-Star Game in July.
Oh, that's going to be a fun week.
Look at that.
Are you a good
bubble,
witch or a
huh?
bad witch? That's a big bubble right there. You see that player on that bubble? That was me my whole career.
On the bubble.
On the bubble.
Yeah. Brett Wallace will lead it off against Hunter Strickland, the new pitcher for the Giants. So Cantos gives up a run and 2 hits in his inning and 2/3. Wallace batting for Jankowski, who walked, stole a base tonight, and flied to center. Then the top of the order. 4-1, San Francisco.
We got a hard thrower on the mound for the Giants, Hunter Strickland. He can get up that fastball about 100, 95 to 100. Also works in a slider. What do you think he would do, Professor, the 100-mile-an-hour fastball coming at you?
I'd hope it's high and outside.
I got a chance to bat against Nolan Ryan once as a Padre.
Did you really in a real game?
We started against one another when he was with Houston.
That ball hit well to deep right center field. Can Pagan get to this one? No! Touch 'em all! Wallace hits another pinch home run. That's what I would like to be able to do against a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Brett Wallace inserting his spurs as a Padre.
I love rock and roll, so put another dime in the jukebox, baby. Brett Wallace turning it on that one.
His 4th pinch home run.
He's unbelievable. And coming off the bench, you know, we talked to Mark Sweeney, who was one of the best at doing that. You hunt the fastball, you get the fastball. You know, decent effort right there by Pagan. Nice.
The Padres 2 runs on solo homers. Spanchenberg, his 4th, and now Wallace with his 5th, but 4 of those pinch jobs.
He gets extended. He squares it up. Watch out. Most pinch hit RBIs this season. Yeah, he's a Padre in all of Major League Baseball. Brett Wallace with 12.
Brings up the leadoff man, Will Myers. No one out now in the 7th. Couldn't get the bat out of the way. 1-1 the count. Myers has struck out twice and walked. Well, the home run by Spanchenberg was only 348 feet, and Pagan's barely made it out at 368, but Wallace goes 411 on his shot. Slider in there. Oh, that has a lot of life, that bubble, huh? See, you were better than you thought.
Still on it? Just got sent down to AAA.
Talk too soon. Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Remember, those bullpen guys out there for the Giants Padres, they're watching every at-bat. They're watching pitches. Remember earlier in the game, Will Myers gets a heavy dose of sliders from Chris Heston. Struck him out twice. That was the slider we just saw from Hunter Strickland. He just shook off the fastball away with the slider.
Arizona in the 9th inning up north, leading the Dodgers 3-0. They're getting some good pitching. Yeah. And apparently they've just scored again, so it's 4-0. All the way to the screen and a full count to Myers. Solarte has half the Padres, well, 40% of the Padre total of 5 hits. A couple of singles tonight and hit by a pitch, so on base all 3 times. Myers trying to get aboard, bring that tying run to the plate here in the home half of the 7th. That's well out of play deep down the right field line. So the Giants here again tomorrow night and Thursday night. Arizona Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the Milwaukee Brewers finish the home season next week. We chronicled earlier on our Geico report Willie Mays on this date here in San Diego hitting his 600th home run, the second major league player to hit 600 following Babe Ruth. A couple other things of interest happened on this September 22nd in baseball history. I'll share with you. Full count. Up the middle and one hop. Nice play, Tomlinson. He robs Myers of a hit. Well struck, but Tomlinson able to backhand it for the out.
That's a nice play. This ball is hit hard off the right-handed bat. That ball is slicing towards Tomlinson. So that is not an easy hop going to your right.
So Solardi steps up 2 for 2, hit by pitch. Back in 1968, Cesar Tovar did something only one other player in baseball history at the time had accomplished. The Minnesota Twins infielder, 9 positions and 9 different innings.
That's really cool.
It is. And I know you can come up with the answer of the other player who did that just before Tovar.
Yeah, remember Will Ferrell did that thing this year in spring
No,
training.
he doesn't count.
No, but in honor of Bert Campaneris playing all 9 positions.
Campaneris was the first to do it, and then Tovar followed. Pitch caught, played all the infield and outfield positions. High pop up, back of short, angling toward the foul line is Crawford, and in front of Piazza makes the catch. 2 away.
October means baseball, folks, and FS1 continues to be your home for postseason action with the American League Division and Championship Series. Don't miss a moment with all the drama and all the history. It all begins October 8th on FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. October baseball coming your way right here on Fox.
It's a great time of the year.
Oh, love it.
The playoffs, you got the college and professional football seasons going.
Love it.
I mean, every day, every night, you got action. Here's Kemp, 0 for 3 tonight, a strikeout, a line out, and fouled out with the bases loaded the last time. And he hits this well to center field. That chases Pagan back to the wall and makes the catch. Not quite enough. And the Padres are gone in the 7th. They do get one as pinch hitter Brett Wallace steps up and cracks one 411 feet. And the score after 7, 4-2 Giants.
Top of the 8th inning, Mark and I are working on Padres Live, the post-game show, which will be brought to you by Cox Communications. Hey, quick game break, too. Pittsburgh in action against Colorado.
Mike just came off a series win in Los Angeles. Go to Colorado offensively. Aramis Ramirez, big addition for the Pittsburgh Pirates moving forward.
Well, the Pirates needed a win tonight, and they did 6-3 because the Cardinals won and did the Cubs. You guys talked about that, did Mark and Dick, where Jake Arrieta picked up win number 20. So the standings are pretty darn tight. It makes every game interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. St. Louis had a tremendous year with adversity, but also Chicago and Pittsburgh can be a great story moving forward.
When Mark and I see you on Padres Live, the post-game show, we'll have all the highlights from all around the league, and you're going to hear from Pat Murphy on tonight's final score. Gentlemen, back to you.
Just a tag on that Pittsburgh-Chicago situation. 2 games separating Pittsburgh, 2 games ahead. Of course, the winner in that, they're going to be the wild card teams, gets home field in the one game.
Yep.
And right now it would be Pittsburgh. Is Sean Kelly. We welcome Kelly back into action. His last outing was on the very first of the month in Texas, and then had some forearm soreness. Now back in action, his 49th game. Sends in a breaking ball as he goes to work here in the top of the 8th inning. Matt Duffy was at the plate when Diaza was thrown out trying to steal in the 7th inning.
You know, the strained forearm that Sean Kelly had, that's one of those injuries where you better make darn sure that you're over that hurdle. You know, you throw a bullpen, you'll go out, you throw a simulated game, maybe to some live hitters, but once you get back in a regular game, that adrenaline pumps up, man. See if he stays on top of the ball, gets through the ball, and especially the velocity and the breaking ball. Good breaking ball there.
2-2 to Duffy with Crawford and Bird to follow. Four runs, 6 hits for the Giants, 2 runs, 4 hits for the Padres, the 2 runs on solo home runs. And the count full. The Giants have had the Padres number of late this year. They've won 7 of the last 8 games. And they really took them apart up in San Francisco, as you'll recall, when they outscored them 27-4 to sweep the 3-game series a weekend ago. There's your lineup tomorrow. Jake Peavy, who beat the Padres in one of those 3 games up north, against Andrew Kashner. Our TV time at 6:30. Swing and a miss. And Duffy goes to the dugout with his 4th consecutive strikeout tonight. 4 times up, 4 times struck out. Time now for the UPS Store in-game box score. 2 hits for Diaza, the only multiple hit effort by a Giant, but Pagan with a 2-run home run. And Brown with his first major league hit, an RBI double, the catcher.
So the Giants trying to win this game without Buster Posey, who was in the lineup earlier but then scratched.
And without Brandon Belt, and without Hunter Pence, and without Aoki.
Yeah, with those injuries, you know, the Giants, they had a 6-3 homestand with not their usual lineup. So above 500 last road trip, or last homestand rather, at 6-3.
Crawford knocked in a run with a single in the 6th inning. 1 for 3 tonight, a strikeout and a ground out. And Sergio Romo rehearsing, making sure his uniform is just right.
Got ants in his pants.
Yeah. That'll get you over to first covering, huh? Strike 1-2.
92 on the fastball from Sean. That's a good sign.
Levels the count at 2-2.
Is Crawford saying that ball hit him? I think he's motioning that the ball hit him in the foot.
This is the Gonzalez rule. Huh? Did it touch me somewhere?
Yeah.
Can we spend some more time?
Come on. There has to be, with all the adjustments they're going to make in the system, there has to be a clock that says you've got to decide. You can't call around the country and get a vote of 5-4 whether or not we're going to challenge something. Either you challenge it or you don't. Now this is, they're trying to speed up the game, and this defeats the purpose. Get up there, you're a big man, swing the bat. And then Gonzalez, after he forced the same issue, gets up and singles. Kelly said, come on. I agree.
That ball looked like it hit in between the feet of Brandon Crawford. He's even talking to Sean Kelly about it. No, it wasn't even close. If he's...
It didn't hit him on the bounce.
I don't think it did. Yeah, I wonder if he's saying it grazed his pant leg or something.
It might have hit a shoelace.
Oh, that's you know what, Dick? Yeah.
Could have hit a shoelace. This is going to be dramatic. Let's see what they say in New York. They've already blown one in New York. Let's see what they come up with here. Although we don't have evidence to overturn the call on the field, so this is going to be an exercise in utilizing time to come back with it'll stand.
Zoom in.
Well, obviously it bounces in the dirt, but when it comes up, does it hit him on the bounce?
Or is he claiming he hit it on the front foot? Hey, any good plays at La Jolla Playhouse coming up?
There's always good plays, no matter what is. I can't come up with a.
That's all right. I didn't mean to put you on the
name
spot.
of the title now, but this could be a basis for a play. We could collaborate on the whole. We could tie in.
What would be the title?
Well, let's see. We got to get a challenge in the title somewhere, because that automatically has a ring that wants. Well, here it is.
Something to do with challenge.
Does he get first base?
Oh, the suspense is killing him.
Joe West has said no. There's
stay put. So the call stands.
And the crowd roars.
And the Giants lose the challenge, right? That could be crucial.
That'll teach him.
Only down by 2.
It does border on being ludicrous. So, 2-2 the count. Did he go? Full count. I mean, it just sucks the life out of the crowd too. I mean, it just all of a sudden the fans are, where are they? Back to the mound, but Kelly had vacated the premises and they can't make a play. An easy topper off the bat of hitter Crawford, but Kelly, in falling toward first base, couldn't get back to field it, and it's an infield hit. So, see, just like Gonzalez, they challenge. Yeah. It doesn't. It isn't a hit batsman, then you get a base hit. So what's wrong with that? Time now for our fan Diego, fans of the game. Yeah, hi kids.
Hey, welcome to the ball yard. Hope you're having a good time.
Crawford's second hit of the night. So for challenging that he had been hit by a pitch, when I'm commissioner, then I take that hit away. I mean,
okay.
you didn't want to swing the bat, so get back in the dugout. You don't get a hit. I can't wait. You think I'll get any votes?
You got my vote.
Okay, man, that's a start.
I'll be on the horn calling people, campaigning for you.
When if Trump would support me. Bird, and the count's 0-2. I mean, Aloysius Trump. He's up in the Escanaba, Upper Peninsula.
That challenge, though, they lose it. You never know. That could come back and work to the advantage of San Diego.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3 for Bird. A couple of strikeouts for Kelly. The Padres counting 11 for Ross, 1 for Quackenbush. That's 14 strikeouts tonight from the Padre hurlers.
A nice bounce back by Sean Kelly after that long wait. And the infield single, getting the strikeout for out number 2.
And a final comes in from Los Angeles. Arizona 8-0 over the Dodgers tonight. So the Giants Well, their chances are very slim to catch the Dodgers. Should they win, the Dodgers have lost, could pull within 6. Of course, the Padres will do everything they can to deny that. Tomlinson has struck out, grounded into a double play, grounded out. The runner goes, and he's in there easily. Crawford with a steal. Kelly kind of ignoring the runner.
Well, as Mark Sweeney said earlier in the ballgame about the Giants and Bruce Bochy putting the runners in motion, trying to add on with a 2-run lead. Oh yeah, he got a hop and then started into a full gate.
Only his 5th steal of the season. Yeah, the stolen base back in the 6th inning led to a run. And Diaz put himself in scoring position for Crawford's single. Now Crawford in position for Tomlinson with a count 1-2. Good block. So just to finish this day in history, because it's important to our fans and our great fans and the love of the game down south of the border, country of Mexico. And on this date in 1986, Fernando won number 20, the first Mexican native to win 20 games in the major leagues.
Oh, he was fun to watch. Fernando Mania.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kelly strikes out the side. And we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Padres need 2 to tie. Tyson Ross started tonight with 194 strikeouts, trying to become the 2nd Padre pitcher this year to hit 200, a rare count as we documented earlier, and he goes by 200 in a hurry with 11 strikeouts tonight and finishes the game at 205. He and James Shields over 200, the first time ever in San Diego history. 2 pitchers, same season, 200 strikeouts.
Well, you can't go wrong with either of those right-handers. James Shields, Tyson Ross, congratulations. Not only was he in the driver's seat, but he was putting the pedal to the metal tonight.
Yeah. Kia likes that. So bottom of the 8th, Padres trail 4-2. And Sergio Romo, the veteran right-hander slider ball pitcher, comes in to face Upton, Jerko, and Spangenberg.
Well, look at the splits. 339 for lefties, 168 for righties.
Slow slider comes inside.
Dick, you make a good point. You pretty much know what you're going to get from Romo. He'll show you the fastball and throw you that slider to have you chase down and away if you're a righty.
Upton just missed a grand slam the last time with the bases loaded. Deep drive to left center. Another slow breaking ball misses inside. Padres need a base runner, bring that tying run to the plate here in the 8th. Foul back toward us. Watch out. No, that's going to be a little shy. Where will this man be playing next season? He'll be a highly valued property as a free agent. The slider, and he gets it in that spot. It's just so tough for the right-handed hitter.
Well, how good has Sergio Romo been lately? He's allowed just 2 runs in his last 25 outings. That's 25 in the 3rd innings of work during that span. 30 strikeouts, and he's just walked 2.
Yeah, remember, he was the closer, and then he had some rough games a couple years ago, and now he's a setup man for the Giants. Reached out and a fly ball to left. Diaza, an easy chance. 1 away. Jed Jerko, he, like Matt Duffy, has had a long night. Duffy has struck out all 4 times. Jerko all 3 at bats. He'll be lighting the candles on birthday cake number 27 tomorrow.
Oh, to be 27 again, huh, Professor?
Were you 27 ever? I think I was. I'll check.
Where was I at 27?
I know where I was. I was just starting my professorial career.
Really?
At San Fernando Valley State
First
College.
thing you said when you first day class. First day. What was the first thing you said? Can you remember?
No. But I did. You know what I did do though those days. A big swing and a miss. 0-2 was. I had one of my classes was the required freshman class, health education. You have 50 students, and I made a vow to myself that after it was met 3 times a week. By the end of the 2nd week, I would know every kid's name, and so I could call them by name.
Right.
And I thought that really helped the rapport.
Absolutely.
I still didn't like my teaching, but no, I was a little tough on the grading, I think, when I look back. But hey, I was young and I wanted them to like me, but I more wanted them to respect me.
Yeah. Sure. I tell you what, I couldn't do it. I see teachers even today. God bless them, and for what they do, good teachers, man. It's
a noble profession.
It takes a special person to do that.
Our future depends on it.
How about Jed Jerko going to school here and making?
I like it. It's a good segue.
Making Romo pay.
Inside 2-2. And I've said it not on the air much, but I have speeches. The excitement about teaching is the challenge of the raised hand. If you really motivated a group of good students and one of your best students in the middle of your lecture raises their hand, with the challenge of the raised hand, and you can get it every class every time, and you don't get that in a lot of professions. Hit well to right field, not so well. Yeah, at first off the bat, but he got out toward the end of the stick for the 2nd out.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Young lady doing her artwork there.
Aww.
Everyone gets the same size pizza here. The imagination of youth, huh? Well, here's Banchenberg. Goodness, who got him tonight? He's walked and hit a home run. That's 7 points.
Is that you?
And then a strikeout, so that's a -1. So he gets a 6. I hope it's, Chris Button. I really, I feel for Chris Button.
Why?
I mean, she leaves for 3 days, and then you and your cohorts get together, and you blow a 21-point lead on her. How can that happen?
We all have times when we're away, and you have to trust the people who pick for you. And you know what, Chris Budden?
Something smells a little funny.
No, it's a big league. Hang with them.
Yeah, but see, she's making up some ground. You have, let's see, where are you here? Grant has 1. So 5 points you gained tonight, Chris Budden. So you now trail with Grant out there, 322, feeling pretty cocky, I might add.
It's a long season.
You count on it.
I just want you to know that I have led every day of this season.
Well, here's your man Spangenberg, a chance for another point. Yes, a base hit. Make that a 7-point night for Budden. And that brings, more importantly, the tying run to the plate. What's there not to like about Corey Spangenberg's play?
We talk about his speed, and you know what? I love the back control also. Down the third base line, and then the race is on.
That brings up pinch hitter Derek Norris, batting for Hedges. Represents the tying run here with 2 outs and Spangenberg aboard in the 8th.
Let's see if Derek gets a first pitch breaking ball out of the hand of Sergio Romo.
You got to be looking for that slider, and maybe he'll hang one.
And you got to take him the other way. There are times, when he hangs it and you recognize it out of the hand, spin on it.
13 home runs on the year for Norris. And he takes it. Strike 1. As a pinch hitter, Norris only 1 hit in 10 tries. Melvin Upton Jr. is in the on-deck circle. He slings up an 86-mile-an-hour fastball.
And that he's only thrown 86, 87. That 86 will creep up on you very quickly when you throw that slider, fastball. Slider, fastball. Yeah, the 86 looks like it's 96. Unless you're guessing for it and you can put a good swing on it.
The attendance announced tonight that game 1 of the 3-game series, 25,043. And some orange and black. It's okay. We've got good taste. Come down to America's finest.
Absolutely.
Two and 1. Giants got runs in the 5th and 6th inning to lead 2-0. Spangenberg homered, his 4th of the year to make it 2-1. Then the Giants back with 2 in the 7th on the 2-run homer by leadoff man Angel Pagan, only his 3rd of the year off Quackenbush. And pinch hitter Brett Wallace made it 4-2 with his home run in the bottom of the 7th. That's where we stand, 4-2. Here we go. Yep. 2-2. For a slider, it gets about as wide a break as any.
It does, yeah. It's a frisbee, as you see from the side that Derek Norris.
Not like that quick downer that Tyson Ross has.
Mm-hmm. Totally different.
So 2-2 the count. Why isn't that a curveball? I mean, it breaks like an old sidearm curveball.
Yeah, that's a good call. You're absolutely right. Traditionally the 12-6 curveball is the one that goes from top to bottom, but you're absolutely right. You could theoretically call that a curveball or an outshoot.
Yeah, it almost throws it sidearm. It's a 3/4.
A slider, you're right, is a shorter break. That's got more of a sweeping break to it.
And it's all about the grip and the use of the wrist, more with the curveball than the slider. Spangenberg with his lead. And down goes Norris on the slider.
to the ninth. The Padres trailing 4-2. Padres baseball brought to you by Mercury Insurance. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com and see how much you could save. And by Petco, what we feed them matters. So to the top of the ninth inning here at Petco, and John Edwards comes on to pitch for the Padres, their sixth pitcher of the night, with Adrianzo, Brown, and the pitcher spot, the bottom three in the order to face him here in the ninth. The Giants lead 4-2.
Well, last time John was out there was in the Mile High City back on Friday against the Rockies. Through an inning, he struck out the side. 3 punchies for the big, tall right-hander.
Padres hoping that there's a place in the future for this man, traded from Texas in the Will Venable deal. A converted outfielder, so you know, as a pitcher, he's still somewhat of a teenager.
Yeah, you're right.
Norris stays in the game behind the plate.
Throws a fastball, a curveball, and a slider. Talking to John in San Francisco, he's still trying to develop a changeup. But, he's got a good live arm, mid-90s. Good kid, good egg.
Adrianza, a couple of walks and a strikeout. He scored a run and stolen a base tonight. And 2-0 as Edwards falls behind the leadoff man here in the ninth. Trying to hold the fort. Hope the Padres in the bottom half of the inning. Against that man, the closer, Santiago Casilla. Come up with a couple or more.
Yeah, looking back last half inning for the Padres pitching. Good job and welcome back to Sean Kelly. Struck out the sides, gave up a base hit. Good to see Sean back out there.
And they missed him.
Yeah.
Out for 3 weeks of this September. 3-0. And ball 4, a 4-pitch walk.
Oh, where did that one miss? I guess down the middle doesn't count.
Yeah, I guess it was low, and Norris kind of boxed it. Yeah, it was right at the knee. Should have been a strike, but it wasn't received cleanly by Norris. So leadoff man on. Marcus Mateo heating up. Trevor Brown, a big night for the young man, with an RBI double, his first big league hit. He's 1 for 3. Now 5 straight out of the strike zone from John Edwards.
Well, we've seen it earlier in the game. Bruce Bochy putting a runner in motion. You never know. Got to be careful of that.
There's a strike, 1-1.
See how quickly Adrianza got off that bag? How about a fake throw from Wallace and then the swipe tag on the back end?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Believe me, there are guys out there who will fall for that.
There he goes. Swung on and missed. Throw by Norris on one hop is waiting for the sliding Adrianza, who came up short on the slide. No momentum. He just died about a foot from the bag, and Norris has another throw out.
There was a hit and run. You're swinging at anything. Now the short hop. And watch how Corey makes sure that he gets the tag. The tag was down there, but remember, with instant replay, or they're out of challenges, but you've got to make sure that you get that glove on that leg.
Yeah, that could be about another 4 minutes that we've saved. Ground ball up the middle. Jerko has to range deep behind the bag. Too late. Base hit. Brown has his second big league hit. Good direction up the middle, and by the time Jerko could get to it, even though the ball wasn't hit hard, Brown had too much time to scamper up the line.
Yeah, he was playing a little bit over towards left, so to charge this ball, he couldn't do it because he was playing where he was, and then the flip throw just not in time.
For a catcher, runs pretty well.
Yeah.
You can see Wallace now playing first base with Myers moving to center field. And with one out, Noonan's going to hit. Nick Noonan is a local lad. Edwards in front on the count, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout as Noonan goes down. First strikeout for Edwards.
Noonan!
Time now for the Bill Howe play of the game, and Angel Pagan measured it just right off the top of the wall in right field of the Jack deck. Number 3 on the season, 2 of those in the last 2 weeks against Padre pitching. And that's the difference in the game, our Bill Howe play of the game.
Ooh, that's a nice tight slider right there with John Edwards.
Didn't get a chance to duck in the fact we mentioned that Noonan was a local lad and born here in San Diego, went to Francis Parker High School.
Oh,
so
nice.
Some folks here cheering him on, but goes down swinging. 1-1 now to Pagan.
No angel is he. The Padre pitching tonight.
Did Derek Norris just get another foul tip off a?
He couldn't wait to get in there and get a foul tip. Huh?
My goodness! I don't know whether it happened so quickly. I don't know whether it was off of him or the umpire.
I wonder if he can get through those security devices in airports, because he's got some kind of magnetic device that attracts baseballs. 1-2. Brown at first base with an infield hit. There he goes. There goes a throw by Norris. It's there in time. And another throw out by Derek Norris. He gets 2 victims here in the ninth. So it's up to the Padres now. Bottom of the ninth inning. They need a couple to tie 3 to win. Summary. Trevor Brown, the rookie, his first major league hit is an RBI double, and that gave the Giants a 1-0 lead back in the 5th inning. They added on as Crawford singled to right field in the 6th inning. That brought home Diaz. That's 2-0. Spangenberg for the Padres in the 6th. His 4th home run of the year made it 2-1. But Pagan answered with a 2-run shot just out of the reach of Matt Kemp off Kevin Quackenbush, 4-1. And pinch hitter deluxe Brett Wallace hammers another, his 4th pinch hit home run of the season to make it 4-2. And that's where we stand coming to the bottom of the 9th inning. Melvin Upton will lead it off. Then Wallace and the top of the order Myers against the closer for the Giants, Santiago Casilla. What makes him so tough, Mark?
Well, he's got that fastball, but he'll also throw the cutter and the slider. As you take a look at the saves and the opportunities, 34 for 49. Well, he can blow a save. More strikeouts than any pitch. Can get a little wild as well.
Melvin Upton Jr. hitting an even 250 with 5 home runs. Broken bat looper behind short. Can Crawford get out there? Yes, he can. Over the shoulder catch, 1 pitch, 1 out. Brett Wallace gets a second chance.
You know, we talk about outfielders getting the good first jump. Well, as a shortstop, Brandon Crawford, you know, he goes a long way. That's not up there for a long, long time, and that's a big out for Casilla and the Giants. But good recognition, good first step off the bat from Brandon Crawford.
And going back to when the Dodgers really opened up the big lead against these Giants, let's not forget they lost their double play combination. Both Crawford and Panic were out. What a difference that makes. Crawford has returned. He's as good as any shortstop in the National League defensively, and then he adds 19 home runs. Brett Wallace with 5 home runs and only 78 at bats. And this one, a shot to deep right center field. 4 pinch hit home runs. Now that's saying something.
Yeah, don't throw him a fastball for a strike.
Shot off the first baseman, Adrianza. That may have hit him in the head. And safe at first base, in the face, mouth maybe. And Wallace, too hot to handle, base hit off the first baseman's chops. Off the glove and off the forehead or nose. And the glove stab didn't take much off the steam of that shot.
Yeah, that ball was smoked. Probably got a couple of loose chiclets.
It was more up in the bridge of the nose, don't you think?
Tough to tell there. He was doing some spitting out there when he was on one knee.
Looking for some evidence of the wound, but okay in that regard. So that brings a tying run to the plate here with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th, and the Padres will get to the top of the order and Will Myers. Official scores indicated that should the Giants go on to win, that George Cantos, who worked an inning and 2/3 for starter Chris Heston, would be credited with the victory. No, he's okay. Will get your attention. Myers struck out, walked, and was robbed of a hit. Good play made by second baseman Tomlinson the last time.
Hey, there's your bloop. Now how about a blast?
Sitting on 8 home runs in his limited duty this year. Only 200 at bats. So if you multiply that by 3, a player that would play the full season, we're talking about prorated 24 home runs. Myers. And I think that's the kind of player he might be.
Absolutely.
That is a hit. In case you were wondering, the Wallace smash to first, too hot to handle. Boy, called that a strike?
Wow.
That changes the whole at bat.
No question about it, Dick. Oh, that was a hanger. Oh. Hanging, breaking ball, middle in. Wants it down and away. Leaves it up. Right down the middle.
So 2 strikes.
Hey, don't get me wrong. This game is tough. And these pitchers, they hang pitches, and just because I mentioned that doesn't mean they're supposed to crush it each and every time. That's not going to happen. I just want to reiterate that. It's a tough game. If that happened every time, we hit a home run every time, right?
Of course, yeah. But when you're behind, you see a pitch like that, you're hoping, Sometimes we're allowed that as reporters, are we not, journalistically, to see it with our heart?
Absolutely.
It amuses me when fans here in San Diego you'll give credit to the other team or say something nice about the opposition, they think you're rooting against the Padres. Heavens, if you don't know who we want to win, then you better go see somebody and talk it over. I mean, is there any doubt who those that occupy this booth want to win?
Hey, this might be an opportunity because Santiago Casilla has blown 5 saves this year.
1-2. And another foul ball. Inside 2-2. Arizona shutting out the Dodgers. That's Robbie Ray throwing a shutout tonight.
He's got
8-0.
good stuff. Yeah.
Left-hander.
Yeah, mid-90s. Good stuff.
Solarte has shown he can homer from both sides. He's on deck. 4-2. Tying run represented by Will Myers. Strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. 2 away to Solarte.
Well, he went with the 2-seam fastball down and in with some movement and catches that inside corner. It's exactly where he wanted to throw it.
25 strikeouts in the game tonight combined. .25 of 51 outs, strikeouts.
A lot of swings and misses, huh?
2 for 3, Solarte.
Tyson Ross was on pace to strike out 27 tonight.
Wallace goes around Wallace goes over to second on a DI. And Solarte, strike 1. Should Solarte keep it going, Matt Kemp on deck.
Well, what that does is that it takes the force away. The Giants now cannot go to short way at second base to end this game. So, a ground ball to second base, or, where the second baseman has to go really to his right or left. They can't go that short way. Try to keep the inning alive.
And the Padres down to their final strike. Giant fans making noise. And a roller to the right side. And the out at first on the flip by Tomlinson, and the Giants have beaten the Padres 8 of the last 9. Final score, San Francisco 4, San Diego 2. Here's Mike Pomerantz.
Dick, thank you very much. Well, Mark and I see on Padres Live, the post-game show, you're going to hear from Pat Murphy. We'll talk about Tyson Ross's big night and how Angel Pecan did in the Padres.